That was hot.
Dude, I can't wait to get my real
Tasted good.
microphone.
That was a burrito.
Burrito.
A hint of beef, a steak actually.
Some beans.
You making mole again?
It's a
Mole.
twice baked.
Mole.
I'm clicking start stream now.
Okay.
Cool.
Ooh, ooh,
Brock's
ooh.
First.
First. Did he comment on your stream?
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, Waiting for my stream to show up on Twitch, even though I know I'm live. I just want to be 1000% sure
Are
I'm live.
1000% live.
Ooh, how's everybody doing? Welcome, ladies and germs. It's official. I'm back. I missed last week because I was dog tired, and my eyes were hurting. I worked until like 9 p.m. and it sucked.
Ooh.
So this week I'm back, and I'm mad I didn't get to talk about East of West because I was obsessed with it. It was amazing. But we have an equally important and monumentous book to cover this week, and that is, if you're looking at the stream, Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples' Saga. And I'm going to be honest with everybody here. This was a glaring blind spot in my comic reading. This was actually my first time. My second Brian K. Vaughan book, too. We're going to dive into that. But of course, first, got to make some plugs. Y'all, you like what you see right here? All you can eat? Well, it's all you can eat with your eye mouths. And we are Mouth Breathers Guild, and we make comics. This is our anthology. You can buy this on our website, mouthbreathersguild.com. And then, boom, we got Remise, Manny's book. We got Renowned. That's our other joint book. This one is not on our website. It could be, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. And then The Legacy of Carl is also not on our website, but you can read it for free online in Webtoons. But Ben, sitting above me on stream, he's the artist and co-creator of Time Police. Ben, where can the lovely people buy Time Police?
Go out to Etsy. It is the Time Police store. Go get yourself a copy. I actually plan on putting up some other goodies later this week. So if you already have the book, there's going to be some 11x17 prints and some sticker pack options as well.
Hell yeah. Time Police is not on our website, Brock, because it is not an official Mouth Breathers Guild release. It could be one day. I don't know. You have to talk to Ben.
Go read it on Webtoons. And then go buy the book on Etsy.
Hell yeah. Drama. No, it's fine. It's not drama at all. Infighting. Okay.
Yeah, so, I'll fight you to take a drink.
Oh.
So, as always, we will dive into this book by first reading the solicit, giving our initial impressions, and diving balls deep into our discussion.
Can I say real quick, for anybody that is not familiar with Saga, this is not safe for work. So if you're watching this at work, there is going to be some scenes that may slip through as far as nudity and whatnot. So just
there's dong.
Full dong. Dongs.
There's full dong, and there's lots of full frontal nudity.
Let's check it out.
It's got some mature themes for sure.
Here's some
so it is wholesome. Brock is right there, but yeah, it is gonna run the whole gamut of human emotions, and I'm gonna do my best to not show too much dong and nipple on stream, but it's also art. So
I think you're fine.
You can't blame me.
Yeah.
So diving into the solicit on the back, we've got some great pull quotes. But I'm going to jump in from award-winning writer Brian K. Vaughan of Why the Last Man fame, and critically acclaimed artist Fiona Staples, Mystery Society, North 40. Saga is the sweeping tale of one young family fighting to find their place in the universe. When two soldiers from opposite sides of a never-ending galactic war fall in love, they risk everything to bring a fragile new life into a dangerous old world. Fantasy and science fiction are wed like never before in the first volume of this sexy, subversive, ongoing epic. An epic it is. Ben, since you're the most acquainted with this book, I'd love to hear your thoughts first.
Okay. My first experience with this was picking it up off of a rack back in Indiana for $1, which is insane. And what a great way for Image to take some of these books from people that are like, you may have heard of them, but we want to just get you kickstarted. And I bought this just on a whim, seeing it on there. I was like, this looks pretty cool. Didn't flip through it, because if I would have flipped through it and had my kids there, I probably would have been like, whoa, all right, maybe not. But I'm so glad I did. And we'll talk more about the characters, but Brian's writing, I absolutely love his dialogue. He's just got the right balance of whimsical, lighthearted, and then just heart-wrenching as you go throughout the later issues. And Fiona, like, I had never heard of Fiona prior to this. Fiona's ability to create characters that are just freaking so creative and out of left field, I think we're fantastic. So I'm glad we get to talk about Saga. This is one that I would say is in my top 10 favorites. I am on issue 67, I think, is where they're at right now.
Damn. That's crazy.
So, yeah. They're
running ongoing.
Yeah.
And they even took a break. So that if they would have continued working and not taken a 2-year hiatus, they would have been well beyond that. But they took a break, and I think creatively that really helped reset everything for what they're doing now. And they left it, again, just on a fantastic story beat. I was kind of pissed off when they stopped doing it, and I was glad to hear that they're going to come back to it. But of course, that's always the concern when you get someone like Joe Madeira coming out and like doing some awesome creator-owned project, and then they stop. You're like, holy crap! You need to come back to it. And Battle Chasers, like he took 10 years off. Love to talk about Battle Chasers at some point. But Saga, it is it's a roller coaster, man. And we're only covering the first 6 issues, so I'm excited.
Yeah, there's like multiple hardcover omnibuses of this at this point, which is crazy. Manny, this is also your first time with this book, right?
Yeah. This is my first time with it. It's like back, a while ago. Like I remember picking this up and flipping through it, and I was just like, looks okay. And then put it back. It just didn't, like, I don't know. Sometimes digital art doesn't really hit me, like like some things. So that kind of like steered me away from it. But I've grown to like it as I've read through it. But it was good. I mean, it's good. Like I can see why like there's such a big roar about this book. Everyone's talking about it. So I mean, I can see why. It's definitely crazy with all the creature designs, characters, and whatever. They kind of just do whatever they want.
That's I think work. One thing that I feel is missing in a lot of books is the willingness just to do whatever the hell comes to the top of your head. I mean, I think that's something that you guys do an amazing job with and renowned, and you don't see it a lot in mainstream books. I mean, I think Image and Skybound and their artists and creative teams, their writers have a little bit more flexibility. But I mean, you're not going to get a lot of that with like a Transformers property or an X-Men or Spider-Man or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you got like a ghost that's cut in half, like floating around for most of this book, and
Isabel's my favorite. I love Isabel.
My absolute favorite are the bodiless, the torso-less prostitutes.
Oh yeah, just the giant head on Sextillion. Yeah. This shit's crazy. I love the stalker too.
Yeah. The stalk.
Yeah, the stalk.
We'll get into that. Yeah. But what about you, Kev? This was your first introduction. So from just a first time standpoint, what were your initial thoughts?
I think that this book is trying to phrase this in a way that doesn't sound like I'm hating, because I did genuinely enjoy this book. I really like this book a lot. I understand exactly why it's a huge deal. It kind of delivers everything that a great comic book should. With like exceptional art, great storytelling, world building out of control. They're really stretching the medium with the kinds of characters and worlds and places that, it's all taking place. Um, it reads to me like, a modern classic. Like it truly I understand exactly why it's beloved. It doesn't quite scratch that itch for me, but I'm not going to take anything away from this book.
See, that really surprises me. I figured, like, I'm reading this, and maybe it's a little too heavy on, like, cliche and everything like that. But, dude, I thought, like, just all the crazy characters and a lot of the, just the fun, playful dialogue that you get from Marko and Alana. I thought that was great. The whole, what is it? It's the sex planet. What,
Sextillion.
Yeah, Sextillion. I'm like, holy shit. This has got to be where Kev's like, fuck, yo, let's go. Just seeing all the weird shit that's there.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
you just got to do whatever the hell you want. And the stock, I was like, dude, if anything, Manny's going to love the creature design on this shit. Because it's just this armless woman torso that's on top of the spider body. Like, it's just so freaking cool.
I really like it. This book feels very similar to Deadly Class, where it almost feels like impossible to judge the first 6 issues on their own merit because they're so clearly just set up.
Yeah.
Like there's great like arcs throughout it, but I feel like I'm not getting a sense for what, like I don't feel like they've fully stretched their legs at all. Like I would not be surprised if like by volume 3 or 4, like issues 20, 30, 40, I'm like, "Oh, this is one of the best books I've ever read." But like, you know what I mean? But like right now I'm just not fully bought in. And I'm just like thinking, and it's not right to compare one piece of art to another, but when I compare it to East of West, which is a similarly long, ongoing sci-fi story, the different approaches to world building really get my gears turning because this one is much more in like the Star Wars school, where it's like we're going to tell you everything you need to know before you get going, right? Like Saga is very much like this is the world, this is the conflict, star-crossed lovers. You have to understand everything that's going on.
Right.
Whereas East of West doesn't explain a goddamn thing to you. It just like throws you in with all this very cryptic kind of apocalyptic poetry, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then like you slowly start to piece it together as you read issue over issue. And I'm realizing that I probably like that camp of world building a little bit more. I mean, it's not surprising. Like I'm obsessed with Jonathan Hickman, and from what I read of Brian K. Vaughan, sorry fans, is just fine. I read Pride of Baghdad, and I thought that was solid. I didn't think it was great.
So, and he originally did Why the Last Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of his claim to fame. And I remember I read like the first 6 issues of Why, and I was just like, nah, it's all right. It's okay. And it took me a minute when I bought like issue 1 of Saga. I'm like, why does it sounds so familiar? And then I kind of put 2 and 2 together when I was going back and reading through there. I would say, and this is just my opinion, and more because I'm coming back to this, getting to read the first 6 issues again, I'm just like, damn, I forget how much fun I had reading this the first time, getting introduced to all the crazy characters. Oh yeah, I forgot my other favorite character. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I would say by volume 2, I don't think it'll take you 20 issues. I would say within the first 10, if you're not hooked, like it's just probably not for you, and that's okay, right? But
yeah. I think
dude,
I'm in the same boat. Like I think I need a little bit more to like really get into it. Like I could see like people enjoying this because of the creativity with like the creatures and like all this crazy world building stuff. But like as a story, I'm just like I need like there's something missing. I don't know what it is, or at least in the first few issues. I'm just like I need a little more.
Yeah, and maybe how hard was it to follow for you guys? Because essentially you take this as kind of a future but modern day telling, future set but modern day telling of Romeo and Juliet, right? There's these 2 warring factions. You've got one on one planet, that are these winged creatures, and one on this moon planet that have horns, and they just hate each other. Like, for whatever reason, for hundreds of years, so far back, they can't even remember why they're fighting. They're fighting. And Marko ends up getting captured. He's got these, like, cool-looking ram horns. And then Alana is this, kind of military grunt for the army, and she's supposed to be watching over prisoners of war, and falls in love with Marko, and they run off, and, like, she, helps him escape. She gets pregnant, and the start of this book, like, I love the opening of this book where you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, talking about, like, am I shitting? Like, am I shitting right now? And it's like, what are we talking about? And then all of a sudden you flip the page and, like, she's giving birth in this, like, sweatshop somewhere. But all that, dude, I'm sorry. I can get into this and just start talking about how much I love it. But from just that broad storytelling, did that play a factor into just like, oh, that's interesting, but I want more, or they're giving me too much? Like, what was the thought that you guys had? Was it just too confusing trying to build everything, or just not fast enough?
No, I think it was too much. I think it like it's so conventional and it's so over-explanatory that, like, I was like looking for the hook or the twist. Sorry, my camera's like losing focus for some reason. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. It's so Star Wars, like A New Hope, where it's like you open the ship and boom, the guy, like Darth Vader, blows the doors open and he's blasting people away, and then Princess Leia is like, "You gotta send this message out," and it goes right. Like, I've just like, I don't want this to sound mean because I did enjoy this book, but like truly, like, I thought this story was so recognizable and so conventional, and maybe that's like an artistic intention. Like, we're going to lure you in with familiar archetypes and then blow the hinges off the door by the time we get to a later issue. But no, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, they're warring factions and they hate each other and they're fighting and they shouldn't be together, and it's like an allegory for racism or something. You know what I mean? Like, I just like got it. Like, I don't know.
Right.
And Brock is saying that there's a dragon sucking itself off, and that's what I'm looking for. If that was in issue 1, I would have bought every. Oh.
It's much later on in the series, but
if that was in issue 1, I would have bought all 10 volumes off the spot.
I don't know what, Manny, did you have a similar problem from like the world building perspective, or was yours a little different?
I think it's like on the same realm, same wave as what Kevin's saying, because it's like I've seen this before, although they do add, like, the sex trafficking and there's bad guy now turning hero, and then just the weird little characters that they're putting in here, like the bounty hunters and shit. It's interesting. Like, I do want to know why, like, or I do want to see this kid, like, what's up with this kid. What kind of freak?
You guys shit on Saga, I'm gonna go play Overwatch.
I think
we can shit on Overwatch too.
Yeah, we could definitely shit on Overwatch.
I think what I love is the fact that the spin that they put on it is, Romeo and Juliet, there's all this family drama, and then they off themselves. So, like, in the end, like, everyone dies. I think what made it interesting for me is it wasn't just the relationship of Marko and Alana that started everything off. It's the fact that the omniscient narrator of Hazel is the baby that the two of them have, and the fact that she is helping tell the story, even though you're reading things as they go along. I loved it as a narrative device in the very beginning. It's a theme that carries through, and I think later on it isn't as powerful for me as it was when it first began, because I love the fact that she's getting to tell, like, what she remembers her parents telling her about her birth, and everything like that. So it allows, I think, some Brian to just kind of expound on things, and I was even trying to read things that they dropped in volume or in issue 1 and issue 2 of the narration, and remembering, oh crap, they like hit on that again, and like the middle of this arc, or they hit on this in like the middle of this arc. So I thought, just from, there's not a lot of drop threads or things missing, which I really appreciate too, having read it for so long. But yeah, the fact that here it is, Romeo and Juliet, they both die, and it's like, whatever, goodbye, funeral. Like, the families are gonna war on forever. With this one, they live, they have this baby, and this baby is the reason that, it's not just the fact that their relationship is terrible according to their nations, but like the baby is considered an abomination by some and special by others, because you get the horns. Like, Hazel's born, she gets the horns of her dad, and she gets the wings of her mom. And I thought that was cool too, because when you look at, and this may be entirely on me too, I'm coming at it from a different place than you guys. I'm older, I've got kids, so it's like, I can look at, this daughter and she looks more like her mom, and I can look at this daughter and she looks more like her dad. It's like really cool. But yeah, I loved Hazel being the narrator. I love all these things that tie in. I want to talk so much about the Will and Lion Cat, and goddamn, Isabel is like my favorite. Lion Cat is tied for first. I fucking love Lion Cat. God, a lie detector in the form of this hairless tiger, looking like oversized hairless cat. God, sorry, I'm all over the place. You can tell I'm the fan of this book. So.
Yeah. I mean this in the most respectful and adoring way, Ben, but Brian K. Vaughan seems to be a really, really big deal for like Gen X and like older millennials. Like, he seems to be like the writer that speaks to that generation.
Mm-hmm.
And for Manny and I bordering Gen Z, I don't know. It doesn't really hit the same way. Like, I just truly think that his like kind of sardonic, like quippy, like, oh, I'm shitting kind of dialogue. I'm really not trying to make this like shitting on Brian K. Vaughan, because I have like an enormous amount of respect for him. I literally have white hair. Yeah, but I'm not 30 years old, so you know what I mean? But he just does, like, his tone and quippiness is kind of the thing that like wanted me to spark change in the books that I actively pursue. Yeah, Brock, I'm 29.
That just means you got that gorgeous hair. That's all.
I have excellent hair. But this is really not to diminish like Brian K. Vaughan. Like, I do really have a respect and appreciation for him. It's just this book, I don't know. Like, maybe if I had been reading it when it came out, I would have like a totally different view on it.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Maybe the books that we're obsessed with now, people 10 years from now are going to read them and go, why did you guys give a shit about Daniel Warren Johnson or whoever it is, right?
Well,
Like,
that's not gonna
you know
happen.
what I mean? You never know. They're going to be like, that guy was so sappy and it's like sentimental and sad.
He was for the
It
emo.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Who knows?
I'm gonna make you fall in love and stomp all over your dreams.
You know what I mean? Like, it's possible, but my favorite parts of this book were really Fiona getting wild with the character creation and the world building stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know how much I can credit that to Brian K. Vaughan. Like, the seahorse agent.
That was
Was
literally
really
one of
great.
my favorite. I was gonna
Yeah,
talk
I
about
also
that
love
one.
like the random like
Yeah.
alligator butler. That guy
Yeah.
ruled. Where was he? Because that was like, I saw him and I was like, well, why can't we have more of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, the war tortoise is fantastic. Just
Yeah.
these weird little
Yeah.
things.
the fact that the
The
symbol
monster-
is like the Chinese dragon.
The
Like,
TV
that is-
people. That's
yeah,
also
the TV people rule.
The robot
Yeah.
playing Prince Robot the Fourth, and
It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, like the stock is amazing.
dude, I love Prince Robot because he has straight up all this dialogue, and then random shit will just appear on his screen, like when he's
like a
excited or
flashback
when
or
he's
some shit.
reacting to something. It's always entertaining to see what like Fiona or Brian has decided like to show up on the TV screen. It's so
I would have
funny.
liked even more of that, to be honest. In my opinion, there wasn't enough creativity
Oh,
to what could be on the screen. Like you have
it
such a great device, get wild with it.
it gets better. And
I'm sure it
when you
does.
meet when you meet the robot king, like you know, imagine you've got these little monitors for like the robot prince. It's what you would think. Like the robot king has this like giant screen, because he's the king, man. He's the big guy.
He's the big flat
The
screen.
bigger the screen, yeah, the big old flat screen TV. Um, but I don't know, and I. So the thing that I think I can see, and Manny, I'm gonna just pick on you because
Sure.
I kind of know we've talked so much about the art styles, and we know the art style that we really like, and there's definite noodling in the ways to, work with the more traditional way of creating artwork. So I definitely heard you talking about like the limited digital side of the house. So the digital is one thing, but Fiona has a really minimalist style when it comes to all her backgrounds. So did that kind of sway you away? Because I think, I'm putting myself in your headspace, and I'm like, I'm Manny, I'm flipping through the book. There's not a lot of detail to this book. Whatever. I'll just, sit it down. Maybe it's not for me.
It's not. I don't know. It's just like there was one page, I think, when they're in Sextillion. There was just a whole bunch of gradients going on. It was just like flat and like some gradients going on, and I just wasn't a fan of it. Like at least like the first time I picked this book up. Yeah, it's like the background for when we see those head leg people. I remember seeing that and just like the hard shapes and the shininess on their foreheads and nose and stuff. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm a sucker for texture, man. I want to see paint strokes and all this. Like, that's just my taste. I'm not saying that this is bad and you shouldn't like it. They're great. I mean, this literally they're speeding through making this freaking book like crazy. So that's amazing. Like Fiona Staples, like clearly doing the work,
Right.
And they're clearly digital paintings, digital backgrounds and stuff. It just didn't hit me like earlier on, you know what I mean? Whereas later I have much more of a respect for this kind of thing, and I'm sure she's doing like 15 other things while she's making this book and all that. So but to me, what speaks to me is like texture and like painting, or just like getting, I don't know, just different. It's still the digital thing that doesn't hit me the same as traditional stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Call chat.
Yeah.
What's in the call chat? Brock, are you sending nudes?
They're sending wieners in the call chat.
Hello there, Melly the Witch. How you
Oh,
doing?
there you go.
That's the dragon sucking itself. Yeah, that's pretty fire. Yeah, I'm into that. That's good stuff.
Where is that?
In the
It's
open
in
chat.
Oh, okay. It's like, it's in this book. I don't remember seeing that in the background.
No, that's fire. And to be fair, like we're not against simplistic backgrounds, I'd say, because like when you think about Sean Phillips, like half of his backgrounds are just like black brushstrokes and like nothing in the background, and like abstract gestures. But even then, it's got the texture, and that's what this is missing.
Right.
And I would say that kind of applies to the writing as well, in my taste in the writing. Like, I want more kind of cryptic mystery to what's going on. I want ambiguity. I want to not fully understand people's motives and kind of guessing. Whereas in this book, everything is very cleanly laid out. Like, these people aren't supposed to be together, but they love each other. You know exactly basically what their pasts are at this point because they explain everything. You know, the robot guy is going to come to kill him because we can't have mixed race children. That's a no-go. And, everybody kind of wears their intention on their sleeves, except for the bounty hunter characters, which is why they're the most interesting to me. Like, the stock is great because, because she's like, I'm here to murder you, but also I can do whatever I want, and like my motivations aren't clear. Same thing with the Will. Like his motivations are very unclear. You're like, okay, he's chasing $1, but he hates the stock. Why does he hate the stock? And he's like, oh, because they like were in a relationship at some point. That's a great
Which is
revelation.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it gets even better. Like I can't spoil everything, but you know, we can cover what happens to the stock in this, and then like shit goes down. We know the Will is God. So the Will is this bald bounty hunter, and we don't even get to see like half of how just badass he is. And the Will goes through a ton of changes throughout the book as well. I love so when you first see him, like he's real fit looking, he's all buff, looks pretty badass. Why am I not remembering his name? But like the guy from The Beekeeper, Jason Statham. He kind of looks like Jason Statham in my opinion. And then things happen later on, and he gets like Fat Thor, where he just freaking lets himself go, gets this big old beer belly, just doesn't give a shit. Like there's so many great changes to these characters that happen throughout the course of the series. But I love they. I guess to your point, there's no mystery. Like not a lot right now is no one's hiding any intentions. In my opinion, that does change. There are characters that, for one reason or another, they start to become a little more ambiguous with their intentions, and things happen. I know they mentioned Marko had a fiance called Gwendolyn, and you meet Gwendolyn later, and just all this stuff. So there's a lot of things that, again, it's to your point. If this was meant to be a 12-issue mini, like I think things would be like firing fast, and like we're gonna continue to push this and go. But they were just told, you know, this book's selling well, keep it going. Like keep it going as long as you want.
Right.
They have. But yeah, I think I can definitely see why it's not as super immersive to begin with, because it is very much a building up. And you know, you mentioned East to West. I love the character concepts in East to West. That book has definitely got me hooked. I have to go buy volume. Like I need to buy every volume now because I definitely want to know where it all goes. But a lot of it was just, I think the pacing, the intensity, the things that happen in East of West were more unique and you know, not tropish like what you're saying. But I do think maybe it is, I was just the right age for this, and Brian's writing for me, you know, a dad at the time in 2012. Got 2012. My oldest was 2. So yeah, I was like, just had a baby. This is all like, whoa, this is cool. I love this. Where's this going? So I just got suckered at the right time.
I think what also like swayed my opinion a little bit with you know, like I think it's good. I just like, I don't know. I think if it was a full complete at least arc or whatever in the first volume, I'd probably like it more. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's just like, all right, they're getting chased, and they're still getting chased.
And the whole arc is
You know?
like, get off of the island, like find a way to escape, and really that's all they do.
I guess like that's yeah. I wanted a little bit more than that. I guess is where my mind is at. Because at least with East of West, it's just like, you know, I'm looking for something, and then you find out that it's his wife, and then he finds his wife, and then the end of the volume, he's just like, all right, I'm gonna find our son. And it's like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, especially because it escalates so naturally with that like all-out war sequence with like whole new Shanghai like province, and they just like fuck everybody up, and it's glorious. And you're like, but there's still all this cryptic mystery in the background, like the old guy with the cowboy hat, and like his like shady dealings in the background, and you have the like the ongoing villains, like the 3 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, doing their thing, and you're like, all these moving pieces are going on, and they're still managing to create this sense of like conclusion with a sprinkle to the next thing.
Yeah.
But it's like it's unfair to compare writing to like what Jonathan Hickman is doing, because like how many of his runs are considered character defining? You know, like it's not like controversial to say he's one of the best living comic book writers. Like it's like, oh, you like Fantastic Four? Well, Hickman did the definitive run. Oh, you like the Avengers? Well, Hickman did the definitive run. Oh, well, you like X-Men? Well, Hickman's run was really good. Did you read that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, his X-Men run is House of X Powers of 10. Oh man, that's exactly my taste right there. That book fucks so hard, dude. House of X Powers of 10. Everything up until X's Swords gets really weird, and I'm not going to give him the credit through all of that. But House of X Powers 10. That's good shit.
That's something we'll take to our weekend streams. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brock says Hickman X-Men is unmatched. I'm with you, Brock. And also Tom Coker, this is completely unrelated, but Tom Coker posted about what's going on with the Black Monday murders on his Instagram. And he was like, look, we have the first 8 issues out or whatever. It's been several years. I had to get over sickness. I got the scripts for issues 9 and 10, and I'm going to do the art for those. I have no idea when like 11 and 12 are coming. So like be on standby, basically. Like he's like, John is obviously like an incredibly busy person, and I can't count on him to like come back to this project after like 6 years. But God, it's like my favorite comic book of all time. It's so good. I want it so bad.
That sounds like one we gotta talk about too.
I would love to. Manny knows I won't shut the fuck up about that book.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
But coming back to Saga and Brian K. Vaughan, Manny, I think you illustrated a great point where it really doesn't feel like the stakes change issue to issue.
Right.
It starts so dire and immediately like dangerous that you don't get a sense of the sliding scale of like of tension. Like it's just so tense right from the get-go that you don't even feel the tension anymore. You know what I mean? Like that like introducing that level of tension only works in short burst stories. Like if this first 6 issues was just one complete like grab you by the balls and spit you out at the end, like, and you were like, oh my God, thank God they got out. That would be a different feeling. But instead you're like, and the chase begins after we just saw 6 issues of chase.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing with me. Like I read it as it's the search for a safe haven, and it's like they're already being chased, so now they actually have a chance to find a place to hopefully settle down. Of course, with these books, like if they settle down, then that would just be the end of the book.
Yeah.
You know, you just say, and they live happily ever after. The end. I mean, as you guys are saying this, I'm almost wondering. Again, I like this book so much, I would never suggest like to rewrite it. But just thinking in my mind, what if you started off where you're following Marko and Alana, and she's pregnant, about to give birth, and then like the end of issue 6 is like all this intensity, they finally get away, and she gives birth, and you end the first 6 issues with, we have a baby, and now you get to like start fresh going off.
Yeah,
you know, if the delivery would just build that tension more, I don't know. That's kind of where I was thinking.
I was thinking the same thing. I think I would have been much more interested in the prisoner to prison guard dynamic of a relationship, and give me that for 6 issues, and it's like, I'm pregnant, and that's the reveal at the end of 6 issues, and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen to this baby? You know what I mean? Like anything like that, like, because again, the stakes are just so immediately high that there's nowhere to go. And like I'm assuming by issue 7, 8, maybe they calm down a bit, maybe we slow down, get our footing, and then start to build a new arc or something. But we didn't get that sense of peace for a single moment in the 6 issues, so I felt no emotional conclusivity.
I remember it slowing down. I do say Saga does have a very Walking Dead trope to it, where like no character is safe. So they will have characters. I mean, hell, you see what happens to the Stalk in this, and you know, God, again, just from an artistic standpoint, I love seeing the Stalk when Prince Robot the Fourth like blasts her through the chest. Yeah. And you get that one page spread of her laying on the ground, and like
Curled
all
up.
the legs. It's just like a spider, right?
Yeah.
All the legs shrivel up into the body. So freaking good, just from an artistic standpoint.
That was a great touch, for sure.
Yeah.
The stock, all the design with the stock is immaculate. I want to circle back for a very innocuous comment. I just really hated the names of the things on the map. Can I just say that? River Tranquility. One part is just called the Woods.
The Woods, yeah.
Lava Swamps, the Uncanny Bridge, Rocket Ship Forest, Murder Valley, the Fort, and Mountain. Like, I get that these are like probably colloquial names, but we couldn't come up with fucking anything better than the Woods. And it's not even that the joke is that it's so simplistic. Like, they don't even like they make the joke, "Oh, Rocket Ship Forest, what the hell are these names?" But it's like not and they're not silly enough to be a full joke. You know what I mean? And the
Right.
world building hasn't presented itself as being so dense. Like, you know what I mean? It would be like if put yourself in like Lord of the Rings, and it's like you watch all of the Fellowship of the Rings, and then they're going through that forest where all the Ents are or whatever, and it's like this spooky, ominous, dangerous woods, and they've been speaking Elvish for 4 fucking hours at this point, and they go, "What forest is that?" And they go, "The big spooky forest." You would be like, "Oh my god, that's so funny!" Like that. Why would it have that such a simplistic, dumb name? But like, you don't even have that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where's the sense of comedic kind of timing and weight here? Like, if I'm still establishing the norms for things, going with Rocket Ship Forest and the Woods, and maybe that is the norm. Maybe some planets are called Rock Planet, and it's like, oh, that's funny. But you know what I mean? Like, there's no consistency for me to buy in and get that pace and rhythm going. You know what I mean?
I know. I mean, it's like
Well-
when I go to Iceland, I just know to expect ice, and then when I go to Greenland, I know to expect green. I mean,
But it's the opposite.
what? But that makes no sense. They need to rename them on the map. But
Iceland is just rocks. That's all it is. It's just volcanoes and rocks.
damn it, they should just name it Volcano Land.
Yeah, I would probably visit if it was called Volcano Land.
But I hear that thing. There's just so much to it that I think is interesting in my perspective because, man, as I was reading through this again, and this just shows I am not a writer. So you, Kev, you have a completely different perspective on this. But it's like you've got the main A plot, which is Marko and Alana running away. You've got interweaving B plot, which is the Prince Robot the Fourth, and like him talking about this war that he was involved with, and so he has a relationship already with the wing race, and the fact that he's going to go off and try to hunt these people down, so that way he can come home and be with his princess, who we're getting down in issue 1. And you find out, they weren't wearing any protection because apparently princess gets knocked up real quick.
Hell yeah.
And then you've got the Stalk and
Robots,
the
man.
Will, so like the bounty hunters that are weaving through this. And you find out that so you don't hear that the Wings care, or the Wings, which is Alana's race, care too much about it. It's the robot that gives a shit. But the Moonies are what they call the Horn, Marko's race. And you find out that there's a group there that cares about the baby, and they want to get rid of this couple because they don't want others from Marko's race to feel like, oh, it's okay to like go and marry off or have relationships with the Wings.
Race mixing just ain't right.
It ain't right. So I mean, again, it's all tropes, it's all playing off of things, but for me, there's so many things that currently are weaving, and I think I hear what you guys are saying. At the end of 6, like, it doesn't just come to that clear, concise point of like, oh shit, things are going down. Dude, I'm thinking like, again, going to East of West and Deadly Class, and when you wrap up volume 1 of those that are like multi-volumes, like, a lot of shit has just gone down. And I can see this having less weight when it comes to, oh, they finally got away, as opposed to like, I don't know, Marcus from Deadly Class, like, was tripping balls on acid, went to Vegas, like, is all beat up, thrown through a window, stabbed. Like, zipper face guy shows up, kills the guy that was trying to kill Marcus, and then everybody just goes, "Oh shit, what are we gonna do now?" And the same with like East to West. I love the way it's like, I found my wife, now I gotta go find her son. He could be the end of the world. I friggin' love that.
It's great.
So I can see like the emotional weight, but I know. I don't even know that it may be a slow burn. It really is. I guess when I think about it, by the end of volume 2, some real shit goes down. So there's more weight, but it does take 12 issues to get into it, and that just does not sound like it's as fast paced as some people like, which is all good. But I love it.
It's not even like a pacing issue. It's like on a issue to issue, moment to moment kind of basis. It's more of like a big picture pacing issue. Like, does it need time to spread its wings and really fly? Because if that's the case, that's cool. I just didn't get a sense of that in the 6 issues. You know what I mean? Like, if this is all that I had to go off of, like, and not knowing that there was fucking 10 issues of this book and that they're on issue 67, right? Like, if I didn't know that, I would probably be inclined to be like, I don't know about this one. But knowing that it's like this multi-planet, huge epic that people are obsessed with, I'd probably be inclined to get more buy-in. It's like people who in 1977 who weren't crazy about Star Wars. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, yeah, it's like in space or whatever, I guess. But we have the knowledge of knowing that it's 9 movies and dozens of TV shows and all of this like massive stuff, and it's a cultural force where it's like, you don't fucking like Star Wars? Put yourself in the position of someone who's like only seen one, and they were like, yeah, I guess it was a cool space movie or whatever. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. But honestly, if you watch 1977 Star Wars and you're like, I want to watch all 9 movies like right now, I don't know if I trust you. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking Star Wars, dude. Like, it's the best. But I understand why people would feel that way. I had another point I wanted to bring up, but maybe it's my taste in comic books and writing, and because I read so many things like Brubaker books and stuff like that, and Danny Warren Johnson's like mini formats, where I'm like, maybe ongoings just aren't my thing because like I don't like Robert Kirkman that much either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
kind
like
of what
the
put me
king
away from that. Like from The Walking Dead, was just like, oh, another like
it never fucking
speech
ends,
about
dude.
hope and surviving. Like, I don't fucking care. I know this world is sad. Like, we could just go on to killing zombies, please.
You're just
No
gonna take
zombie
it all
was killed in this
anyway.
issue. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And then you get a Jeff Darrow book where it's literally like 80 pages of zombie slaying. Because that was his gripe with The Walking Dead, was like, there's not enough fucking zombies dying. And then he makes that book. It's great. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely the ongoing pace for me. It's like, that's why I don't get big 2 books. It's like, oh, it's gonna keep going on forever. I don't care.
Who's got the fucking time? Well, it's like the problem I have with Void Rivals, right? Like all
Yeah.
the other, the GI Joe like minis work so well,
Right.
because like there's such a planned story from issues 1 through 5 or 6 that I'm like, this is perfect pacing. Whereas like Void Rivals, I feel like I'm not getting a full story every issue. I'm like, oh, now I have to buy the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's definitely, yeah. I get you.
And that's a Kirkman thing.
It is. It is.
Which is also why I love the format of things like certain Spider-Man arcs or Fantastic Four on the Ryan North run, where it's like it's just this issue. Like there's going to be more subtle building and connections going on, but right now it's just this issue. You could pick up issue 1 or 18, and it doesn't matter. You're just going to get one solid story, and it's going to be great, and you're going to love it. And that's like such a palatable way to enjoy comics.
Like what we were saying about Sean Phillips and Ed Brubaker. It's like every volume of whatever is a full complete thing, and those are the kind of books that I gravitate towards, especially Pulp. It's this like 64-page book. It's a complete thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a complete thing. So I think that's where I'm coming at Saga, so if people like it, that's great. Maybe it's not for me. I don't know, dude.
No. And this isn't like to shit on this book. Like everything, I want to like address that everything that I have as a problem with this book is purely my taste. Like it has nothing to do with like the actual quality of the writing, save for a few things, quality of the art, save for a few things where I'm like, you know what, I don't like that you did this. But the rest of it is purely a preference. So if Saga is your all-time favorite, and listening to the 50 minutes that we've discussed this has just ripped you a new asshole and you are frothing at the mouth, I'm sorry. Like, we are not going to all have the same taste, particularly the three of us sitting here. Like, while we have very big Venn diagrams of overlap, we are artists ourselves. So that very much informs the things we consume and how we consume them. And it's like, part of it is just our brains going, no, I wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's purely that. Like, it's, oh, me as like a creator in this position, I would not do this. I disagree with these artistic choices. Not that I think you were wrong or that they're bad, but I would not have done this, and therefore it clouds my perception. Roxas probably could have put this disclaimer earlier. Honestly, I had to, sometimes my ideas I have to talk through them.
Get off me. I'm loving on this.
Okay.
And again, this is not to diminish how big of a deal this book is.
It's a big deal.
I 100% understand.
Which we could be
how
broken.
This book
You know,
yeah.
We could be broken. Everyone else is right. I don't fucking know. I'm just here, dude.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I don't know. So some things, and I want to call this out because a little bit of love before we wrap everything up, because I feel like maybe we've kind of said all we need to say. But he's saying he's better than Brian.
That's right. I would actually like to personally fist fight Brian K. Vaughan.
I would pay to see it. I'd pay to see it. Maybe a boxing.
I mean, they're doing the Twitch rival thing, right? I mean, we can do like indie comic rival boxing matches.
You know, like we'll do like mud wrestling outside of Heroes Con. You know what I mean?
Blood wrestling.
Blood wrestling.
I'll blood wrestle Brian K. Vaughan in a inflatable pool outside of the Charlotte Convention Center.
Please.
Let's see. So I love little things. We didn't cover this, but so Marko's clan, they can do magic. They have some special abilities, but they always need weird things when it comes to their ability to use magic. So this is chapter 2, when they get wrapped up in the vines, and Marko's like, I need you to tell me a secret. And she tells him a really lame one, like, I'm really not as tall as I say, I tell people. He's like, that's not. And she's like, fine, I enjoy the taste of my own breast milk. And I'm like, that's fine, there you go, there's a secret. When he's able to cast the spell. And it's just little things like, really? I mean, when did you even... And she goes, Hazel spit up in my mouth last night. And I'm like, oh, that's how you, like, find out that, you like to taste your own breast milk.
Just like, there's a lot going on in that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there.
I like that. See, those are the things I love about this book. When Brian K. Vaughan's not afraid to get very weird and specific.
Oh, dude. And, like, again, character design, the stock, when she shows up, that full page of just the stock walking up through the woods. And you find out, like, Marko's group, they don't know what freelancers are. Freelancers are what they call bounty hunters. Damn, like, seeing, like, her all out in the battle axe and the multiple weapons, like a shotgun in 2 hands, a gun.
Yeah, I love that some of the legs are hands.
Like,
that is great. I also love that she doesn't have arms, and I love the tongue shot, like getting shot through his collarbone right there. That shit was sick.
Dude, I think like issue 2 was just my favorite, because then we land on like the dead kids that were on the planet.
Yeah.
And you find out like Isabel is the one that ends up becoming like a nanny to Hazel, the baby. But they, for whatever reason, again, planets all have their weird rules, but on the planet that they're currently on, a part of the defense mechanism for this planet is anyone that was born on the planet, that dies on the planet, becomes like this force ghost.
Horror. Yeah.
A horror. And some of them like all have wounds of how they died. Like one girl has like this gaping hole in her eye where it looks like, she was shot through the eye. Isabel is just half a person, like is missing the bottom torso,
That's
and
great.
it's all because she's like, I stepped on a landmine. Like I don't know if it was one race or the other because you guys came down on our planet and like killed everybody. So I don't know whose it was, but that's why I'm only this floating half a corpse. But man, just the little things like that I thought were such interesting character traits. I love watching the Stalk run. God, this is issue 3, like the Stalk running away over that giant fallen tree and just
yeah. You
seeing
can
the
picture
energy.
it as she's on the phone. Oh my gosh! Like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Why are you making such a big deal of me having sex with someone else? It was just part of the assignment. And the Will's like, I love you. Oh my god, I love you.
It's like, what? This goes against my survival instincts, man. This is crazy.
Yeah. I hope Lion Cat takes a massive shit on your stupid cape tonight. It's a great line.
Just I love this was the cover for chapter 4, issue 4.
That's the issue on Sextillion.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
again, Sextillion, like we didn't say enough nice things about it, but it is, in my opinion, the shining light of this entire arc. I wish we could have gotten way more of it. And that they just didn't hold back at all. Because like we got good stuff like here where it's like this angel's wearing a strap on and everyone's getting their pussies ate. Like it's great. I was love this guy in the dragon inflatable with the giant cock.
Yeah,
I figured you like
the guys that are in the pyramid.
Oh yeah, the pyramid was my favorite detail. Yeah, the fact that they're just naked with their cocks out, like in a pyramid, is like the best fetish I've ever seen.
You're just looking out, yeah.
And like one guy's like really excited. He's like, yeah, like that rules. I really
love like the pimp that like gets his head exploded. I love seeing the Will just like
his head
smash his head in.
Yeah, you want his head to get smashed the whole time.
Yeah,
the reveal of the slave girl being 6 years old is like fantastic because even the Will is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But even like the pimp guy is just like, you kill children. He's like, no, this is way too far.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's chapter 5 is when the Will tries to escape with the little girl, and you find out that like the owner is there, and the owner is, like gold and has this, or she's purple, right?
Yeah, she's purple with the gold stuff on her. Yeah.
I also love Prince Robot shitting.
Yeah,
this was one of my favorite pages. I wish he was actually shitting, like with his pants around his ankles. That's the one detail that's crucially missing. I was just like, this,
no. It's a color issue. His pants are down. They're just so his pants are like this off-white.
Oh, okay.
And his legs are gray, which I think it should have like adjusted the color for that. Because I agree. He's wearing those high boots, and so he can't drop the trowel. He can't drop trowel all the way to the ground.
Like we could have just like done like just very subtle like little poop onomatopoeias, like just fart noises in the back. Like I would have loved that. Yeah, or just like a scene of him wiping. Like I would have loved that. It's like a panel. I don't need a lot.
I want a full issue of shit.
Yeah, I want an 8-pager of
how do you shit on this planet? Everybody poops is what the issue would be. Yeah. That's how everyone shits on each planet. That's what every page is.
That will. You brought up the onomatopoeia, and I have to say this is the one thing that typically for me makes or breaks a book is how well do they do onomatopoeia. And I don't know, maybe it says something. I enjoy so much other stuff in this book that I didn't even realize how little of that there is. And honestly, you're right, it could do with more. It could do with more.
It just colors it, you know what I mean? Just a little bit of peppering, just some slices and splurts and splashes and
some poots, some.
I'm just telling you, if there was just like a hollow fart sound in the toilet as he's sitting, just like a, you know what I mean?
Echoes somehow, yeah.
Yeah. It would have been a really elegant detail that would have required almost no extra effort. You know what I mean? Just a little.
I was
Give me
gonna say
little bit.
that third page where he's starting to get all pissed off about his dad, and it's like if he would have just like a big splash or something on that page. I don't know, just something in the background to show you things are going down.
Because like I don't know how robots poop, so maybe it's like a much more digital sound. Maybe it's
Beep
like
bop.
the Windows startup sound.
You have mail.
It's like the sound your computer makes when you plug in a fucking
Mail.
USB. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like
Or it's like
Yeah, some kind of like
it's the sound of the trash can when you delete your trash files. It's like,
I think it was Manny. Manny was doing the old dial-up sound,
Yeah.
just that background.
yeah, that would have been sick.
Downloading now.
pooping now.
Evacuation complete.
Don't forget to wash your hands.
I'm just and like truly like it would be the old Windows error sound. Yeah, no, exactly.
Boom.
It's like this book already has such like tonal oddities and like wonky things that they do that like putting a poop joke just like randomly in here would not be out of character. You know what I mean? Like it would
Well,
be
they
just
did do
an
the poop
elegant little
joke
touch.
in the beginning. You know, maybe he thought he'd
Yeah, I'm
overstay his
shitting.
welcome.
You only get one poop joke every 6 issues.
You only get
Make
one
it
poop
count.
joke. Be like Adventure Time. There's always a fart in every episode.
Well, there's always a hidden fart somewhere.
Always. Yeah.
I did
love
not
that
know
show.
that. I learned something.
Yeah.
They're really hard to spot.
Yeah. Sometimes they're right in front of your face, like right there. Boom. No hiding that. But then sometimes.
It'll be like Princess Bubblegum like flies away, and as she's like flying away, it'll be disguised as almost like exhaust dust, but it's
Yeah.
just a little. And it's so
But
elegant.
I want to call this last one out. This is the last piece I wanted to show. This is chapter 6, when they finally get to the Rocket Tree Forest. And I remember this is when I felt so much like Star Wars. Like you kept calling out Star Wars, Kev. This was my Star Wars moment. You got the two moons instead of the two suns.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, this
Yeah,
ship
dude.
is pretty sick. I like that the
organic
tree
tree
ship.
design is
Yeah.
fire.
I was like, dang, that's good. I like that.
I also like the Will's like pod, and it looks like an acorn seedling with a helicopter thing on top of it. You know, blades.
Yeah.
Like there's such great shit in here. It just doesn't quite scratch that itch for me. Like like again, I said this at the beginning of the review. Like this book has everything in it that makes a great comic book great. It's just not my thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I understand wholeheartedly why this book is like foundational for people.
Yeah. I mean, we still like, you know, this thing has been going on for a while, so there's a lot more to dig into.
I've
and
never
shit.
fucking written a book that sold over 1 million copies and gone over 67 issues. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna imply that I fucking deserve that level of success. Clearly, they're doing something right here.
Yeah. Yeah. There's still more. There's more. There's more that needs to be.
I would
dove into.
yeah. TLDR is that I would definitely buy volume 2 and see how I feel. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to commit to the full 10 volumes, but I'd definitely read volume 2 to see where I feel. You know what I
don't
mean?
even Brock Saga does not suck. Don't even. I mean, it does suck in as much as they're dragons sucking their own, you know, schlongs. But and there's lots of sucking and everything else going on in this book and in later issues. Like that continues to be a theme. So
that's a common thread.
yeah,
Look,
they
I
don't
will
steer
give any
away from
book
it.
with sucking and fucking a fair shot.
So again, I would say, you know, just from a reader perspective, if you're definitely be of age to where you're, you know, able to deal with these kinds of adult concepts and whatnot. I don't know what age that is because everybody's different. But this book definitely is not for, I would say, anybody under the age of 18. That's just my opinion as a parent. I don't know that I'd give this to my daughter now who's 14 to read, that, or even at 16. Although 16, they're probably watching
Oh,
the
dude.
good old Pornhub on
Oh,
their phones
I'll
anyway.
watch a whole
so.
bunch of shit at like 10.
Yeah, dude. I learned how to watch porn on my PSP when I was like in 6th grade, dude.
Oh, there you go.
We were ahead of
So
the
I'm
curve.
way off. But I also don't have boys. Like that's the other thing.
Yeah, we were acting. That was we were like porn seeking missiles.
That's right.
We were like trying to dig up magazines in the woods and like.
I literally found a DVD on the way back from school. I got off the bus, was walking home, and I was like, "What is that?" It's a fucking DVD of porn.
I mean, I
Because
know.
some man was driving with that in his car, and his wife was like, "Honey, what's this?" And he just chucked it out the window.
What are you
like,
talking
"What's
about?
that?" And he just gaslit her into thinking that DVD never existed.
Dude, it's in
That's
perfect
right.
condition too. It worked.
I don't remember what age I was, but I do know that like my grandfather had a stack of Playboys that was right next to the toilet in the spare bath and like at their house. And so,
Reading
I went outside and played basketball. I got to use the bathroom. So,
Yeah. All right,
Dude,
Grandpa.
It's about the articles, okay? He was reading.
There's
being
cartoons in these. I read it for the comics.
man.
Um,
So I don't know. I love this book. Again, I'm all the way. I'm still reading it today. So if you're looking for something that is just more adult themed, definitely not safe for work, but hopefully this is something that meets you where you are. That's entertaining. That's lighthearted. It definitely is not always lighthearted, and there's not always sexy times, but I've enjoyed this book for such a long time. And like I said, I know Brock, I think, said top 5 for him. It is top 10 for me, but it's still in my top 10. I mean, out of all those issues of comic books back there and graphic novels and all that shit, I mean, for it to be in top 10,
Well, I mean,
I really enjoy it.
here's one thing to think about too. Is
No, I don't want to
that
think. I
when
want to read and
okay,
be sexy.
no, hear me out. Is
Oh, okay, sorry.
when people talk about One Piece, and then they're like, oh, it gets really crazy at this point or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gets real crazy at like chapter 102.
Yeah, right. But like, what is it? The beginning issues that like sucked you in, Ben, of Saga? What would you say?
Yeah, I think issue 2 is where it finally I enjoyed it. I mean, seeing the stock, like seeing that character, wondering what the hell's going on, understanding, like getting some of the humor and seeing that carry through. Again, it was something where I could like nudge my wife and be like, "Isn't this funny?" And then she's like, "What are all those titties about?"
Is that a comic
and
book?
yes, is that it? Get away with that? And introducing just all this introducing all the weird things. I mean, I knew it was playing off of Romeo and Juliet. I got that, but
Yeah.
it was just seeing them do things that, again, this is 2012.
Right.
I don't know any other comic book that was doing this in 2012, and I think that's what hit me. I mean, hell, God, it's been, so now I got to do math, 12 years since then, and I know we've seen other comics do things like this or do things like this differently.
A little bit,
right?
With this too, but
yeah.
I could.
So I think
also...
that's where it met me, and like I said, I've been collecting this since it first came out. So
yeah,
I definitely have that different perspective and everything. But yeah, that's what got me hooked. Just being able to think outside of the box. There's so many times where, I mean, I don't want to bag on East to West because there's so much creativity in that book. But in Volume 1, everyone's a human. Everyone looks like a human. There's war chiefs and the Crow and Death and all the other, the other 3 horsemen of the apocalypse. They're all humans. You see somebody like the Stalk, and it's like, what the fuck is this weird spider-human hybrid thing with no arms on the, the top half of their body? You see the Lion Cat. I think Lion Cat's hilarious. I still want to have some kind of animal lie detector walking around with me.
Yeah, that one's
All this
cool.
stuff. The spaceships, like the spaceships aren't spaceships. You get
Organic
one.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, all the organic stuff playing off of that. Just they really, and they still continue to experiment and try different things. Again, Brock called it out. Big old dragon sucking his dong. Don't think I'd ever see that, and I haven't seen it in any other book except for Saga.
We clearly read different internet forums.
That's true.
Well, I mean, this is like also smashing sci-fi and high fantasy. You know, like with that giant tree being like a magical tree that you have to sacrifice to in order to.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what Star Wars did so effectively. It's just fantasy in space. It's not science fiction. There's a difference.
Yeah, but there's no like hard ships. You know what I mean? There's like it's organic, it's acorns, trees. It's just like I don't want to draw a spaceship. I want to draw. I want to draw trees in space.
Well, and we were talking about that with Nick Dragotta, where Nick's like, I don't like drawing wings on my spaceship, so he drew like these rectangles and stuff. I was like, why not? Like, do it. Like, step outside of the box. So, yeah.
We didn't talk about this 2-page spread, but this was one of my favorite parts of the whole book. With the giant Galapagos tortoise, like, war fortress with, like, ladders and ropes hanging off of it.
Oh, yeah.
And with, like, isopod-like thing flying through. My problem with this whole sequence was that, like, you're like, oh, they've got to cross a bridge, that's cool, but you don't feel like their backs are to the wall or is this moment of tension. It's just like, oh, what's that? And then you get this scene and it's like amazing. And you're like, what the fuck? And then they flip and they're like, well, we got to go somewhere else. Like, when I read that, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we can't talk, we can't dwell on that for a minute. What's going on here? There's a whole war scene. There's like all these awesome little silhouetted soldiers fighting and flags and flying animals and fucking fire and all this crazy shit. Like, I would have done a whole book of this. I would have read 6 issues of just this. You know what I mean?
But it's also so like, what do they want to talk about?
It didn't allow you to climax, right? It just brought you to the edge and then let you down.
It was 6 issues of edging.
Sorry, Manny. I cut you off.
Yeah, I think it's like they definitely want to go places with it, so they probably don't want to dwell on some things for too long, because they might come back to something epic later on, is my guess. Talking about war and everything. There's probably flashback sequences that dive into those more slower moments, because this one is just like you're getting chased. There's no time to dwell, like the movie like 1917, where the dude's in war. There's no time for grieving. There's no time for anything. You have to fucking go or you're dead. You know.
Yeah.
So there's like that theme in this volume. I can see why they probably didn't dwell on much, but it's definitely like little nuggets of world building, just like smash, just like, oh, look at that, that's happening, okay, on to the next thing, like Mad Max, where you see the people in the stilts in the swamp area, and you're like, dude, I want to know about that. Yeah, no, but I genuinely was like, what, this fucking swamp people? What? That's awesome. Yeah. There's definitely a whole lot going on.
Okay, yeah, agreed. I could have done 6 issues of characters like the stock. When I look at our main characters, it's like, okay, they got horns and wings. Got it. But then you blue ball me by giving me the stock. You know what I mean? I see the stock and I'm like, I want nothing but the stock. I want the stock, the seahorse agent. I want robot guys with television screens. I want alligator butlers. And the fact that like the main character is just a dude with horns is like just fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's more interesting things going on in like the B and C plots, is what you're saying, or more interesting characters.
And that's like fairly common and very hard to juggle with like lots of stories where like I care more about, like, there's a reason why everybody loves Cartman when you watch South Park, but Kyle and Stan are technically the main characters. They're like the kind of moral compass of the show. But everyone has way more fun watching Cartman because that's the asshole with no moral compass that can just do whatever he wants. But you can't completely make the story revolve around him because there needs to be some sort of grounding. It's the same reason why Han Solo is so many people's favorite character, but Luke Skywalker is the center of the story. It's because Han Solo is this renegade who can say whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I mean? That's why sprinkling Gandalf throughout Lord of the Rings is so enticing, is because you've got these gay little hobbits moving from place to place. And then this huge wizard dude shows up and he's like, I'm actually the coolest fucking person here.
Dude.
And then he bounces.
Really
and you're
is.
like,
He's never
what?
late. He's never
He's
late.
never late.
Always on
He's
time.
just getting a high as shit all the time.
That's right.
Like smoking his pipe, just being a general badass, showing up with eagles and birds when convenient to the plot. You know what I mean? And this is not to diminish Lord of the Rings. I've read it so many times. It's like one of my favorite books of all time.
You just described the Will. Like, the Will shows up, he's smoking a joint, he's got a talking cat. Like, he's the coolest fucking character in the whole book.
Now he's gonna
Yeah.
kidnap
Just
a child.
You can't have an entire. Yeah.
It's like in the
But
Next
entire book.
Generation, Manny, where like they just have to make some of the subplots like, and then Riker fucks this alien bitch. Is like, you know what I mean? Like, because it can't all just be morality parables. Sometimes you got to sauce it up. Like,
Well, it's kind of still morality, because then it's like, I shouldn't have fucked that alien shit.
yeah, stop putting your dick in all them alien bitches, Riker.
Whoa,
Classic.
it's consensual. It's consensual.
It's the best. It's the best. Next Generation's so peak. Oh, I love that shit. But you know, and maybe this series does find its sense of balance as it goes along. This is like, I know it's so hard for people to, like Ben, like if you've read up to issue 67 or whatever they're on now, like coming back to this and being like, and this is why I love this, because this is the foundation of which I built my relationship with this book. That's like a totally different perspective than for me existing for 12 years, people going, you got to read Saga, you got to read Saga, you got to read Saga. And then I do 12 years later and I go, cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Because there's also been so much time, like it's been an ongoing until like when did they do the break? Earlier,
it's like 2020-ish, 2021.
so they were
maybe?
doing an ongoing until then, like they were just constantly churning this thing out, or did they have?
So
like,
they did about
seasons
30
off?
issues, 30, 35, something like that, and then they took a 2 or 3 year break, and then came back and kept going. So
Okay.
But like the return to Saga was relatively recent, wasn't it?
yeah.
Like, didn't they just come back? Like, did they take a second break or?
No, I mean, I think they started back up in 2021 or something like that. So it's been or 2020 maybe. It's been a few years, but like they took a break. I want to say 2017, 2018. So at least I believe that's when I was trying to pull it up on the phone to see when they started republishing issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, like, that's how this
it
book
had
was
to have been.
designed. You know what I mean? Like that's how this book was designed, is to do these long runs, this saga. Okay.
This saga.
So it's clearly like we're you know, we still need to keep reading it to actually have a real like review. You know what I mean? I don't know, because
Yeah.
just getting like the taste of it. We're just getting a little taste. We're just getting a little taste. So don't.
Got a little taste.
Yeah.
A little tasty. One, I forgot to call this out because I don't know what the design's like in the trade, but letters and design for the comics were done by Phonographics. I don't know if they kind of stuck with the same, but like issue by issue, like there's just such a really cool design motif to the introduction and just the cover design and everything. It's all real simplistic, but I mean sometimes the best graphic design. And I always love that these were considered chapters instead of books or issues. Like every issue of Saga is a chapter, is what essentially they call it. So I always thought that was a cool little thing that made Saga stand out from the rest of the books on the shelves.
I like the hand lettering for the narration a lot, but I just like hand lettering, and like that's one of the things that feels like a personal touch, because there is almost like brushstrokes and imperfections and all of that. Like it clashes so hard against the clean lines of the digital art that it like really works.
Yeah. I was kind of,
especially by.
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
I wasn't. Okay, I'm gonna shit a little bit. I wasn't a big fan of that, the narration lettering, but I can see why it's used throughout the theme. Does it change at all, Ben, when the story continues, or?
So the lettering continues to be that handwritten style.
Yeah.
Um,
But does it
and
like
when you
grow
think about
with
it,
the
like,
character? Or?
so the character in the book today is maybe 10 or
Okay.
12. Like Hazel still hasn't, like, we haven't hit like teenhood yet. She may be 13.
Okay.
But think about it from a perspective of a family always on the run,
Yeah.
where you don't have an education system that's teaching you, calligraphy, or, sitting down and day by day, month by month, they're teaching you how to write your handwriting and everything.
You're telling
So
me this dumbass kid couldn't even tell me about the War of 1812?
this dumb kid couldn't tell you that. She can tell you all about her childhood and what she's been
Fucking
told
idiot.
about her childhood, but gosh, now I got to go back and take a look at some of the newer issues. But like that handwritten style is
Yeah.
still a thing that they do. I don't know if it's grown. I would love maybe for there to be some of that, but thinking of it from the perspective of a kid who has no stability, whose
Right.
parents are always moving, a lot of that still kind of remains true as far as just that style is what it is. They
Yeah.
continue to kind of
Okay. I could see that. Like, it definitely fits the theme.
It's very 2012 too. I mean, the
Oh, is
date
it?
and putting a time and place. I mean, just think about like 2012 with like the indie sleaze era, and you have like bands like fucking Sleigh Bells and like Zoe Deschanel ass shit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It was like the very much the era of the hipster with the horn rimmed glasses and like thrifted beanies. Like, look at the character. Who's the ghost bitch who's missing her legs?
Isabel.
Oh, true.
Isabel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people looked like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a different time. And so that like bespoke, cutesy, like handwritten thing was very in at the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Who's the
Yeah.
bitch with their legs missing?
Had a few beers. I'm having fun.
Fuck off, man. No.
It's just fun to be very reductive about things.
Who's the dead ass chick that
She's like so dumb that she doesn't have legs. You know what I mean? Because me, I wouldn't have stepped on that landmine. But that's just me personally. I would have seen that shit and stepped right over it, dude. I would have legs. I'm not
It's
saying
the
I'm
other
better
one.
than her.
Fuck.
Knowing my luck, I'd be the ghost with like that was just legs. Like I would have stepped over the landmine. Someone would have shot me. I would have fallen back first onto the landmine and just blown off my entire upper torso, and then and just be the wandering pair of legs in the afterlife.
Ghost, just like,
Yeah, like, I wanna-
fuck.
Oh, go ahead, Manny.
You're just like the ghost of just legs. You're just the pants.
Yeah, her other half is just wandering around the landscape aimlessly without a top.
You're just ground beef floating around. The other half.
Chunks.
Chunk.
I want to know who died on the toilet, and they're just like like a ruptured asshole, just like trailing behind them. The Dookie ghost.
The Dookie ghost. The Duke.
But we're having fun. Saga, in summation, I think we can kind of wind down here because we've been talking for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
This book, I understand why it's a big deal. If this book means a lot to you, feel free to shit talk me in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. I will not take it personally. And if I really should give it another shot, I will. I'll read volume 2 eventually once I get through some of my 2-read stack, which is like 5 feet tall at this point.
Yeah.
But Brian K. Vaughan's a huge deal. This is a big book for Fiona Staples. This book was a big deal. I just can't say enough about it. I understand that this is a high fantasy sci-fi sweeping epic, and this means a lot to people. It's a lot about, I guess things like inclusivity and sex positivity and whatever kind of meaning you find in it. And if it's a huge deal for you, fuck yeah. Screw you, Kev, you stink. I can read whatever I want to read and like what I want to like, okay? I don't think I have normal taste. I've never said that.
I would say just to put it in Star Wars parlance, I would say this is a new hope for me as far as like the beginning of Saga goes. You know, it's something new, it's something different. Yeah, you get some moments that are like Luke Skywalker going, but I want to go to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. You know, there may be some things that are really whiny and off-putting, but those are few and far between. I will say that, you know, this book continues to grow for me. I don't think it ever hits like Empire Strikes Back, where it's like, holy shit, I can't believe they did that. Like, some of the things are shocking, but at least it is not, you know, episode 8, what is it, The Last Jedi, which is like the 3-hour long chase movie, the slowest chase movie in all of filmography.
And ironically, it was the best of all the sequel films.
Oh god, I hate that movie. But I don't hate Saga. And I would say if you're at the local comic book store, pick up volume 1, flip through it, see if it's something you want to get into. Again, I think it's a great time. I think Saga is fantastic. I will continue to buy this to the very last issue. So if Brian and Fiona feel like this is going to be something they write until they die, I'll be right along with them until I die as well. I enjoy this book a lot.
Hell yeah. I like that.
Manny, closing thoughts?
I think I'm definitely gonna keep reading it, see what the buzz is about. Like, what the fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
And you know, if you guys don't want to throw down at the LCS, you can just borrow the singles. I'm happy to loan them out.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, Brock said he would let me borrow his volumes 2 through 9 in the chat, so I might take him up on that.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, especially if the trades are only $10, so it's really not
nothing
big of an
crazy. It's
investment.
nothing
Like,
crazy. Yeah.
and you can pretty much always find all copies of it at every comic book store you ever go
Yeah.
to because it's such a huge deal. So, you know, check it out. Support your LCS. You know, don't let my or Manny opinions sway you. This is always going to be a healthy discourse on this channel.
No,
mean,
ours are
my
right.
opinion
Don't listen to
sway
anyone
you.
else.
Go read
No, I'm
it.
just kidding.
There have been plenty of books that I
No,
really like that
don't
Ben
listen
hasn't
to
been
Manny.
super
Go
hot
read it.
on.
I'm just- yeah, definitely read
so-
it, form your own opinion, and let's talk Saga. Boom.
Yeah. Talk to us
Love
on the Discord about it.
Yeah.
If you think I'm horribly wrong, you should join our Discord about it and shit talk me there. Link is down below on the Twitch, on the YouTube. You can go to my Instagram, find it there. You can go to mouthbreathersguild.com. There's a link there for you to join the Discord. Talk shit to me. We're always talking shit in there about comics we don't like, comics we do like. We have fun, man.
Lots of
Yeah.
talk about the new Plastic Man just
Yeah,
today.
I saw that just pop
Yeah,
up
the new
randomly.
Plastic Man came out today. I need to go pick that up this weekend, so I'm going to do that.
I wonder if he turns into a dildo.
You should.
If only. I wonder if he turns into a poop.
some plastic poop.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all. It's an honor. New Plastic Man sucks. Brock, you read it? You don't like it? Yeah, it's not great. Damn, that sucks.
Oh,
I know
come
there's
on.
that new, but not, did you pick up the Mike Allred variant, Brock?
Oh, you know he did. It's a variant. He's a cover whore. He's all about it.
You.
We'll talk all about variants
Gross.
and comic book store pulls on Sunday night. So we'll talk about it. I didn't actually read very many of the pulls that I got from the last run, but it's fine.
I caught up. I'm so excited to talk about some things.
I gotta do some catching up. I'll do that maybe tomorrow night. Big old stack of books. I've been reading like actual books, not comic books lately, so I gotta catch up on my
What?
comic book reading.
You traitor.
Here's a sneak peek. I caught up on Scarlet. Holy smokes.
Scarlet's so good, dude. Oh
good.
my god. Marko is going nuts on those interiors. We're having such a blast. Also, Destro fucking rules.
Yeah, I'll have to catch up on that. We'll talk Destro too. We'll throw some Energon Universe in our Sunday discussion.
Hell yeah. And speaking of Energon Universe, we're likely going to start talking about a bunch of those Energon books. Void Rivals Volume 2 trade just came out, which is exciting.
That's right.
We got Duke, we got Cobra Commander.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all these G.I. Joe books. But Brock is right. We have to end the stream. As always, we love you. Kisses.
Right there.
All right, and that's the end of that.
All right.
I'm making runs right now. Thanks, Brock. So glad you're shitting.
Who just joined the chat?
Me, bitch.
Brock's shitting on the toilet.
Trying to come
No.
catch hands about Saga? Is that what this is about?
Yes. No, Manny's about to catch hands about One Piece.
Manny
yeah.
didn't say anything wrong about.
No,
One
I
Piece.
was like, it was an example. Oh, you gotta read One Piece, and because it gets crazy at X point, you know. I was like comparing the two of Saga.
It's crazy at the beginning. The beginning is what hooked me.
Of Saga.
The only good thing about watching all or reading all of it, but you can breeze through reading it. It's really easy. But
That's what I've
watching
heard.
it, especially watching the anime, is you get to watch the anime evolve and grow with the characters that are evolving and growing, and it's just fucking beautiful.
Damn. Never dove into it. Hold on, I gotta plug in my headset real quick.
You're a pussy.
I'm like, I started watching One Piece and got like 10 episodes in, and I liked it. I just got distracted and started watching something else. I've been
And
watching
that's fair,
like
Kevin. It's easy to do. It is a daunting task to watch One Piece. It's a daunting task to read it, although far less daunting than watching it. But like I said, watching it, especially if you get like the good, not like the 4Kids shit, but the earlier animations of One Piece, where their skin tones are darker, the art's a little grittier. It truly does, like, and you start to notice it as you watch it and get certain arcs in or certain numbers of episodes in. You'd be like, huh, they didn't used to do that in the art. That's new. And then you start seeing it and it's so smooth and seamless. And then you see more shit like that just sprinkled through and start becoming the norm, and everything just grows with everything else that's already growing in the story. And it's just.
You know what my favorite part is? Just watching the fight scenes on YouTube. And then I'm like, all right, I know what's
Fuck off.
only as Limp Bizkit AMVs.
Yep.
Oh, bro, you remember the Naruto, like, Enter Sandman with Gaara Rock Lee fight AMV? Oh, so good.
Dude, I remember, damn it, it was a Linkin Park song that it was Trunks and Vegeta, where that AMV. Or, what was it, Bitches? That was Pikachu. Who was it that sings Bitches? Mindless Self-Indulgence, singing Bitches, and Pikachu is just, like, singing along with the song. Fuck yeah. If you don't know what that is, go watch it immediately. Now.
Go.
Oh, shit.
AMVs are classic. So which Energon book are we gonna do next week?
Your mom.
Oh, what started it out? Or was it Duke that was after Transformers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Duke spins off of Transformers a lot, I think, easier than Cobra Commander does. But
Okay.
the direct tie-in with Duke, like, blasting Starscream in the face with the smoke screen.
Yeah.
What are you dorks up to?
Oh,
What
dude,
up?
fucking comics, dude.
E-jerkin.
Yeah.
Man, I love it and I hate it.
All at the same time.
No, have
I
you
love
read
it.
Saga?
No, I haven't. I read the first volume, like, I borrowed it from the library and I was like, I couldn't really get into it, so.
Oh, well, I got into it.
I don't know, man. It's just not really my thing. I respect what it did, though, so.
Got into it. I got off on it, and just
Craziness.
That's why I have 2 issue ones. I had to make sure I had a separate copy. Gotta have a clean copy.
Caught up on the TV heads or something, whatever they were.
Oh hell yeah! The robots fucking getting that doggy in.
they're getting at it, man.
Aw, man, Rocketeer's
TVMA.
been my thing recently, so I've been obsessed with it.
With what?
Rocketeer.
Oh.
Oh, Man, that's what I forgot to get into. Fuck.
Does the Rocketeer show his rocket?
Hey.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
like
I
3 issues in right now, right?
What's up?
How many issues are right now? 3?
There's a new one, yeah, but I got like a collection of the old ones. So
Oh,
yeah, but
shit.
there's a bunch of them actually. I think Chris Somney did one like a while ago too.
You did. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How did I
yeah.
not
Yeah.
know? I gotta go buy that shit.
I didn't find out about it until I heard him say it on like Sketch like last week.
Yep. That's where I heard it too.
That-
I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's actually doing Batman and Robin Year One, the new reboot they're doing for that.
Yeah, he talked
Yeah.
about how he's like
Oh,
super
yeah.
nervous about it, but then it also feels right for him. So that was cool.
It looks really pretty.
I
Just
bet.
his
Yeah, I'm
newsletter
about to-
came out today, and he showed a couple of the black and white pages. Man,
Yeah.
looks so good.
Yeah, I'll have to show you the Dave Stevens stuff. This book is gorgeous.
Of course it is. When'd you get it?
I got it last week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tight.
Noah's got all the monies.
Hell yeah.
I wish. I'd have a whole library of this stuff if I could.
I hear ya.
Right?
My wife says I have a whole library of this stuff, and I'm like, not nearly enough, but
You're like, are you kidding?
that's trying. I can always have more. What are you talking
I
about?
wouldn't.
Basically, I don't have enough until I can open my own Acme.
That's what I
True.
know.
That is a dream of mine. I would love to have my own shop.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten this if it weren't like discounted. So, but man, it was worth it.
So you're only a fan if it's convenient to you? No, just kidding.
That's right. What a fair weather fan.
I'm
What
a
the
fan,
fuck?
just a fan with a budget. Excuse
Actually,
me.
honestly, that's real.
Keeping it real.
A budget that I regularly ignore, but that's besides the point.
We're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're not talking about financial responsibility. Not right now.
Oh, shit. Fellas, it's my bedtime.
Yes, sir.
I promised myself I would get enough adequate sleep tonight, and before I go to sleep, I have to at least play one rank of Overwatch. So
Don't
Oh,
play Overwatch tonight.
brother.
You're not gonna win, and then you're gonna be like, okay, let's just keep running it back until we win.
see, the
That's
thing
right.
is, I am gonna win because I'm getting pretty fucking nasty.
See, that's what my drunk self like said like a few years ago, and then I went down a whole rank because of it. So
What
like, we
happens
go
with those
again.
games?
We
You're
go
just like,
What
just
did
run
again.
you
it
play?
back. Just run it back.
What did you play? What role? What person?
I think I was just going on like drunk Ryan plays. So
Oh hell yeah, brother!
yeah, I
Hell
was
yeah!
going nuts.
Oh, bro, I was
Just
nasty with
throwing.
Kiriko.
Were you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get good with now.
Oh, dude, it's all about timing the ult, like, and angling it the right way so you can make big pushes with it.
Oh, they buffed Kiriko again. You can pretty much 2-tap people, which is
Oh,
beautiful.
that's heinous. Yeah, it's all about getting the good leads on people so that when, like, by the time the kunai makes the distance, you can get them nasty hits.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've put a couple right between their fucking eyes.
Yeah, dude, I was nasty with Kiriko because when she dropped, I was like, I'm just gonna one trick this bitch, and then it just got to a point where I was like, I don't care about this game anymore.
I just
So,
started one tricking Torb. It was so much fun.
or
Oh man,
you
I
either
got
one
like a
trick or you never play Tor, but those are the only options.
look. I had a 70% win rate with him after like 50 games of competitive, so I was pretty good at it.
Damn.
damn. I'm one tricking Moira.
Bunch of nerds.
Oh,
Good luck.
heinous.
I draw.
It really is disgusting. I can outdo most DPS. It's just funny at this point. Like they got to be like cracked to beat me. It's funny.
I don't know. I started playing Elden Ring again, and that game is so fucking good.
Really?
God, I love Elden Ring.
I finally broke down and just downloaded Diablo 4. Might try it tomorrow.
Oh, jeez, why?
Why not? What do you mean? Why?
Because that game was like, didn't that game get like ruined by a patch?
No.
Did they
I don't
walk back
fucking
that?
know.
Because like essentially like they had like everybody loved it and like everything was sick, and then they like changed the way that like the EXP scaled and like how like the weapon farm like drops like happened, and it
Oh,
just made
really?
everyone like fucking riot and like leave the game in droves. And it was like after like a month of after launch, and like everyone was like, "Oh, Diablo 4, Blizzard's so back. This is the shit." And they were like, "Actually, we're just gonna nerf everything and make the game fucking unplayable," and everybody left.
No,
Well,
they
surely
changed it
they,
since
they,
then.
they withdrew that patch, right?
Yeah, they've updated a lot. There's been a few seasons out, so it's not like that anymore. I promise you.
Well,
I
that's
was gonna say, bro, like that would automatically get rolled back if what you're saying is true.
Yeah, they fixed it.
It's
They
like,
fixed it.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding.
Well, I know that.
What
I
was the
mean,
game
everybody
Alex
except for
was
you, Manny. Like
back
all of my friends stopped playing it after that patch.
I've only played it once in a while. I don't like play it hardcore. I mean, it's fun for what it is, but that's really it. I don't know.
Mindless
That's what I'm
dungeon
looking
crawling.
for. It's just something
Yeah.
fun for what it is. Because,
Yeah.
like,
It's just
honestly, I do think I am. I'm watching YouTube videos on Overwatch now. Mind you, I only started playing this game in March of this
Oh,
year.
jeez.
Oh,
You
so you're
didn't play
like
Overwatch
new.
1?
No, brother.
Yeah.
Really?
I was doing drugs and fucking women.
Yeah,
Sorry.
now you're playing
I
Overwatch. How the
wasn't some
mighty have
pussy
fallen.
playing games.
Sorry, bud.
Hey, what was the game that everybody was bagging on? Alex and I can't remember who else was talking shit about it in the
Oh,
Concord.
let's go play Concord. Oh wait.
Encore.
Encore.
That shit was crazy, dude. That's like the most colossal video game failure of all time.
Oh yeah.
That budget was $200 million and they sold like 25,000 copies. So they basically only cracked like $1 million in sales, which means that they made like less than a percentage of their fucking like
That-
gross budget. It's
like,
like an abysmal failure.
Refunded too?
Oh, but I thought you
700
said like the
active players
gameplay
at the
itself
peak?
was atrocious.
I
Oh, the
didn't
game.
I didn't play it. I just heard that like it was a solid enough hero shooter like Overwatch, but there's just no one cares because like people either play here like Overwatch or Valorant or Apex Legends, and they're like fucking dialed in. And then other than that, like no hero shooters can crack the market. And like this game came out about 5 years too late, like because Overwatch hit its peak popularity in like 2018, 2019. Like
I think it was more like 2017, 2018. That was peak Overwatch for me.
that was when I was playing. Yeah, dude, the dual tanks meta 6v6. Let's go.
I heard they're gonna bring 6v6 back. I can't wait to experience it.
Oh my god, that's so annoying that they're doing that though. Like they're
They're
just like
doing it.
walking back all their changes years too late.
It's just because of Marvel Rivals, dude. It's because people actually like that game now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos on it. It
Whoa.
actually looks really fun.
It
Yeah,
just
it
looks like
does.
Mention
Overwatch.
about Magneto.
They just made everyone like stupidly OP, and then it's like, yeah, everyone's fun now, and we're like, all right, let's do it.
Huh.
And even Overwatch pros are like, yeah, I actually like this game a lot. There's
Oh,
something for
wow.
everyone. Yeah.
All I
Yeah.
saw was one review bitching about like Magneto's supposed to be the most powerful mutant ever, and he's nerfed and all this other shit. So I'm glad that they fixed it.
Shut up, nerds.
up.
He's Omega level mutant.
It's a
He's
Hey,
game.
did you ever respond to your viewer?
Oh, that's insane.
Magneto's a
No.
thick boy in that game, though.
Yeah, he
Well, I
is.
love when they make Magneto a total like himbo Chad.
Because he is.
Me too. Me fucking too.
I mean, he's not.
All right, I
Right,
too
exactly.
must go to bed.
Oh yeah, forgot.
I'll watch an episode of One Piece and go to sleep.
There you go.
That's the spirit.
Fellas, it's an honor and a privilege as always.
Yes,
Dante
sir.
Bato.
I'll see you
Same.
later.
See you, man.
Peace.
Alright. See you later, man.
Later all.
Hmm.
And then there were 2,
And then
3.
2,000 more
There's
people that showed up out of nowhere.
That'd be pretty sweet.
And
They're like, who the fuck are all these people raiding the Discord? Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey Manny,
Yo.
I did my full first page layout for Tavern Mate, and it's all digitally laid out. So now I get to print that bitch out and do traditional.
Dude,
inks.
yes. That's what I was talking about. I was scared. I saw you, like, I saw a little preview of you doing that, doing the layouts or whatever. And I was like, is he inking digitally? What the fuck?
No. No, doing the full page layouts
Awesome.
digitally, and then I'll print and do traditional inks.
Nice.
So.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Because right now they're all just the little thumbnails, and I'm like, I blow that shit up, it's gonna be blurry as f.
Hell yeah.
So it feels like an extra step, but I'm glad that, like you said, most of the noodling was done on the thumbnails, so I don't have to sit there and be like, what was I doing here, and have to figure it all out.
Yeah,
all that
'cause,
shit's
like, when it comes to the inking part, I find, or maybe it's just like an excuse I give myself so I justify it. Is like you might go super detailed on the thumbnails or whatever, or like the digital pencils, and then when you print it out, then you can kind of like find the line, or like simplify it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to put every single line in there, but you have the construction down at least, so you can just, kind of do flow state. Like you've already tried these other marks. Now all you have to do is like commit to one.
do the one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel like page 1 was a good one to do, because page 2 there's a lot more detail with the bar scene and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I think it being 8 pages, I don't know if I did it knowingly, but it's like page 1 pretty simple, page 2 lots of detail, page 3 pretty simple, page 4 lots of detail. It just
Okay.
for whatever reason I've kind of staggered them out to where it's like I get a little break with like not a ton of detail, and then it's like, oh, this one's gonna be, quite a bit of detail. But like you said, I will want. So I know typically I've always talked about or heard blue line and using cyan, because cyan's easier to filter out.
Yeah.
And you use that orange.
Uh-huh.
Do you find like that's easier to filter out in like the final digital scanning, or
with Photoshop, I mean, I don't know how to do it on another program, which I'm gonna have to learn because we don't have Photoshop anymore. But I would literally just go into Channel
did you do the
Mixer.
fuck Photoshop?
Say what?
Did you do the fuck Photoshop thing too?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Good.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna pay for your broken app anymore. This was the excuse that I needed.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would just go into Photoshop. I'd go into setting. I can't remember exactly which thing I'd go into. I think it was image. Then it would be channel mixer, and then I'd go into channel mixer, and then
Just drop it all the.
yeah, you could like choose which color to drop out. So it could be like orange, blue, purple, whatever. And I would do whatever color that I used. Like, cause I would do orange, I would do purple, I would do blue. Like I've done them all. So it's kind of just like whatever I'm feeling, I'll print it out in that color.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that in Procreate. I'll look up like channel mixing on.
Oh, you could probably just like blur it out or whatever. Wait, to get rid of the blue line? Is that what you're talking about?
So I'm gonna print blue line on the final paper and do the traditional inks, and then have to scan the traditionals back in.
Okay. Yeah.
And so there may be leftover blue line that doesn't get covered up.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I mean, in theory, you could like make the image like black and white, then filter it out if it's light enough, right?
Yeah.
Just like adjust the levels.
That's true.
So
yeah.
you could do that.
You could do that, but You
Good
might
call.
want to see if that works.
Fuck it, trial and error. Just
Trial by fire.
trial by
Figure it
fire.
out somehow, right?
Exactly. It'll get taken care of. But yeah, I'm everything right now. It's just black ink, and then I'll set a cyan layer over the top, and just put that cyan filter over it, and then print out that as my blue line,
Nice.
and then ink traditionally. And I found, let's see, I finally got a dry brush, and I picked up some of just the empty watercolor brushes as well that I've seen Daniel use. But yeah, I picked up a dry brush,
Oh, nice.
so I'm super excited to get out and start messing with that. But yeah, we'll see.
Oh, are you talking about that Proco video that came out, or something else?
Oh no, just at Hobby Lobby. I was
okay.
I was buying some traditional tools, and I've been fighting whether or not to buy those empty, they look like the Pentel brush pens, but they're just for watercolor based mediums. And so
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I grabbed a 3-pack of those. Because I was thinking, for Time Police, when James gets me the issue 2 script,
Yeah.
I want to mess around with doing, since it's a limited color palette, it's like, fuck it, I could do traditional and put some watercolor for the gradient instead of just doing that digitally.
Yeah.
And see how that turns out. And then if I've got to just scrap it and do it digitally, I always can fall back on that. But I figured doing something traditional would be a little bit more interesting. And then, God, we always talk about texture, just seeing what that does to the paper. And but yeah, so I picked up some of those, and then one of the Japanese dry brush pens.
Sick.
So
Nice.
more toys.
Yeah.
On top of my Shining Gundam toy. Shining Gundam. Shining Gundam.
I've been playing with those Bitmoji pens again. You were obsessed with them for a while, Manny. The yellow ones?
Yeah. Kuretake Bitmoji brush pens. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really loving those. They're so much fun. I forgot how good they were.
Dude, they're so good. I mean, Sean Phillips uses them, so.
It's got to be good.
Oh yeah.
If the master uses them.
For real.
You had 2 of them were fighting.
Oh no, but I can go get another toy and I can have a fight. I could have my Gundam fight my Keith Lee or my Orange Cassidy.
Oh, do you have a Godzilla?
Oh, I don't have a Godzilla. Damn it. I guess I'll have to pick one up when I go to Acme next time.
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
so.
darn.
It's,
No. Okay, so then if I don't get that, I can get the Voltron. Ben said he cut me a deal on the Voltron.
Oh, he said he cut me a deal.
He'd knock $100 off of it. It's only $350.
You're not worth
Oh my god.
I'm not worth $350. Ow! You guys heard it here. I am not worth $350. My life insurance policy says differently, but
Damn, dude. Fuck.
dude, it's freaking awesome. That hits all my shit as a kid. Voltron was the first anime that I remember seeing as a kid. And then after that, it was, let's see, what was the Ronin Warriors? Ronin Warriors.
That's like shouldn't.
Yeah, it's a Gundam. Okay. And this is my favorite Gundam. This is the Gundam from Mobile Suit Gundam. Mobile Suit G, Fighter G. Shining Finger! That's all he yells. I love that. It makes no sense. I mean, his fingers do shine, so I guess it does make sense. But
It does, but it doesn't.
But it doesn't. it doesn't and does it in all the best ways. all the best ways.
All the best.
All right, dudes. I'm gonna take some Benadryl and I'm gonna pass the f out.
Okay.
I think
All right.
I got 2 hours of sleep last night, and
Jeez, man.
that was me like tossing and turning in bed, and I was like, I don't know why, but I don't want to do it again.
What? You don't want to do it again? Come on.
Oh, I get some sleep. Dude, if you could fight Ken from Street Fighter, I'm gonna make Ken doing a Hadouken. He's gonna be
Hadouken.
shining finger in his ass.
Huh.
Broken.
Hadouken. Dude, if you guys like Street Fighter and you are at a Target, like seriously, go like back to their import toy aisle or like these friggin' Street Fighter figs are badass. Like they're so good. It's a reasonable price point. Like everything articulates well. There's no like loose. I've not found any loosey goosey stuff. And he comes with like a stand, the Hadouken, and like the hands that'll do the Hadouken. But originally, I was having him do the Shoryuken, the uppercut, because that's like his shit.
Yeah.
I hate Ken players, man. I'm sorry.
Ken's my favorite. You son. Actually, it's not my favorite is from Street Fighter Alpha when they did the crossover with not Streets of Rage, but they had like Cody and Hagar and Guy.
Yeah.
And Guy is my favorite. Like I love Guy so much. I love me some
Yeah.
Guy.
I wish that Hagar comes back, you know, because Cody and Guy have come back in Street Fighter, but for
I
whatever
thought
reason,
I saw rumors. I thought I saw rumors that there's a DLC for Hagar.
I really doubt it, man. I really doubt it.
They should.
You party pooper.
I've been asking for it for years. So I want it. It's just like they were like, oh yeah, Mike Hagar is great. Isn't Mike Hagar the best? Like in every Street Fighter, and they never bring him back. So I'm like, Mike Hagar, man, he's never coming back.
Never say never.
He's Street Fighter Jesus. No one knows the time he will come back. The day or the hour.
But when he does, it will be the end of all Street Fighters.
You guys better buy whatever the current Street Fighter is if he comes back. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I want Charlie back again. I thought the rip off of Guile.
He was in 5.
Was he in 5? Dude, his like
Yeah.
Mohawk thing is so funny.
He was like a zombie, yeah.
He was a zombie? That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he had like a bunch of like Frankenstein stuff all over him. Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, gosh. It's so ridiculous. All right. I love you guys. You guys are the best.
Love you too, dude.
See you later, man.
Until next
See ya.
time. Get some rest.
Hell yeah.
What's up, dude?
You're on that brush grind.
Yes, sir.
All right, what kind of brush is that? I gotta see.
I don't even know. Polar Flow 2? I don't fucking know. Creative Mark. I just saw a brush at Jerry's and I was just like, I'll take that.
Is that like a synthetic sable brush or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like cheap brush.
Bro, did you know that they actually banned importing like actual sable hair brushes to the United States
Oh, no
not
way.
too long ago? Yeah, so it's like they're only going to get more and more expensive as time goes on.
Oh, isn't that fun?
Yeah, right. So we're going to have to make do with synthetic after too long.
Cool. I mean, I feel like a lot of us were just using the Pentel brush pens anyway, but
Yeah, I feel like brush pens are pretty much replacing actual brushes, but
at this point,
I mean, I'm not complaining. They're pretty good now, so
they are. It's just, it's very wet I'd have to use it as like a brush. You know what I mean? I'd have to like dip it in everything in order to use it. I feel like it's the only way I can
Yeah.
control the wetness.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Because you definitely
Does
can't
feel
get
like
small like I'm doing right now. You couldn't do that with a Pentel.
yeah.
At least I couldn't yet.
I don't know. You do think that there's something lost when more people aren't doing that, you know?
Say what?
There's something lost, given that less people are working with brushes like that now.
True.
That's just me, though.
Gotta keep the craft alive.
Got that right, dude. I need to really get good at that stuff.
Oh, do it. Do it right now.
I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow and I'm gonna get to my drawing table and I'm gonna be like, Manny said I have to draw with the brush now. Let's do it.
That's right. I'm the boss.
Yeah, you are the boss.
Get to drawing, sport.
Yeah, I've been falling behind on my pages this week. I need to get caught up.
Oh, what's your deadline? What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm supposed to have like 40 pages like inked and ready by the beginning of next year. So
Okay.
I've got like, let's see, I got about 30 pages penciled. So I've just got to like get through to inking like in the next month and then I'll be good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So it's not killing me right now. It's just, I got to make sure I keep up a steady pace.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to finish this issue by mid-October. So,
Is this the thing you're working on with Bailey?
this is what I'm working on with Ben Roberts and Sam Romsberg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little different,
Gotcha.
but they said they didn't mind if I streamed and inked it, so that's what I'm doing.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Boom. Oof.
It's looking good.
Thanks, dude. I got the did you see the other page that I did the other day?
No, I didn't. Where'd you put it?
I didn't post it anywhere. I just streamed it on here. Got this
Oh,
guy.
okay.
Big reveal. Of,
Oh, nice.
of Van,
Look at that.
our main character. And then I got this
Love
guy
that,
sipping his coffee still. Walking out with like the Waffle House cup basically. But I wanted to have that like shiny diner vibe, you know.
Yeah, I was about to comment on that. Like, man, how'd you get that like texture on the wall there? That's incredible.
Thanks, dude. I just tried to mimic like that kind of feel, and that's what I got. That's what happened.
Hey, we need to go to that place again soon.
Kevin and I did, and we were disappointed.
Oh, was the service not good or the food just bleh?
The food did not hit like it did that day.
Ah, man,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like whoever's working that day. It depends.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Oh, man.
It'd be like that. It's okay. It's okay.
That sucks, though.
We'll probably go back again. I don't like it's a diner, so
You know what? I'm just gonna get that ridiculously oversized like milkshake from like the 50s and just enjoy that by myself.
yeah.
Just like say like, hey, I wanna share it, but no one's here, so don't mind if I do.
Whoops. Oh man.
Put 2 cherries on top and an ungodly amount of whipped cream on it.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yes. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Nice.
I'm gonna send some pages to somebody and get a little critique action. So
You allowed to say who, or?
maybe, but I don't know. It's Tyrell Cannon.
Oh, very nice. You've been talking to him for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, since like I don't know, maybe 2020. I've been.
Oh, so yeah, it's been about like 4 years, man. That's a good while.
Yeah, man. He's always been super nice, and like, obviously he's been super helpful with me. So he's a cool guy. And I work with someone that went to school with him.
Oh,
Like
really?
they were like, yeah, they hung out, like they were good friends.
Oh, hell. So you got the connections there.
Yeah, I was just like, I just mentioned Tyrell Cannon because we were talking about the Chicago scene or whatever, and I was like, yeah, there's artists out there like Tyrell Cannon. It was the first one I listed off, and they're like, wait, you know Tyrell Cannon? I was like, yeah, Tyrell's like awesome. He's working on the Schlub right now. It's looking pretty good, He did Beef Bro, and then they're just like, I went to school with Tyrell. Like we had lunch and dinner all the time with like double dates and stuff. I was like, what? And so we were just talking about nerding out about Tyrell and how he's like a super nice guy.
Shit, man, you're gonna have to introduce me to him someday.
Dude, he's super cool. Hopefully he comes back next Heroes Con. But dude,
Did he have a good one this year?
did he?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, you never asked him. Okay.
I don't know. Like
I
he
don't see-
might. It kind of just all depends. But I mean, that's what he said last year, and he still came.
Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't personally. It's Heroes Con. Come on, like
Right.
what else is there other than like maybe Baltimore?
Right. But he did run Cake. He helped organize Cake this year, which is in Chicago.
I'm
So
not familiar with that.
that one's like like small press, like more focused on indie people. So kind of
Oh, okay.
a little different than Heroes Con because Heroes Con definitely does focus more on the bigger artists, which I get,
Yeah.
but I also wish that there was more love for the indie people. And that's what Tyrell was
Well,
saying too. Was just like I kind of, you know, you, it's great that everyone is paying attention to those big guys, but like you're gonna have another big person, so let's think about that too.
it did feel like this Heroes Con was kind of like the Ed Piskor Memorial Con. So
We did have that
that's
too.
what it.
That
Yeah,
energy
it
was
felt
in the
like that
room
to
for
me.
sure.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to start like looking around and seeing more like what the local cons are around here. Because there's what like Beer City. There's one in Durham.
Oh yeah,
Is that NC Comic Con or is that something else?
I think that's NC Comic Con.
Okay. There's one in Fayetteville too. I want to say.
Oh no shit. I
I
know
want to
there's
say it's.
a zine machine, um, and that's coming up pretty soon. So you're probably gonna have
Yeah,
smaller creators out there.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, my buddy Riley told me about that one. He's like, that's the zine fest to do. I was like, all right,
Okay.
well, I'll sign up for it then. So I don't know if there's any spots left because the application's been out for a bit, and I just signed up the
Mhm.
first day as soon as it was available. So,
Uh,
but you could try it. I mean, if you're trying to table, unless you just want to go. And...
no, I'm more like just thinking about like finding like what the good cons are to go to. Like I don't think I'm at a point where I can table yet, you know?
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Just like, being around the scene, I think, is what I need to be doing right now.
Yeah. For sure. For sure, dude.
Among other things, drawing most important of them.
Oh yeah. Don't forget that.
Never, dude, never.
Don't you ever forget that.
That guy's got some huge shoulders, man.
Oh yeah.
Carry the whole world on them.
Hell yeah, dude. You know it.
Carry me off into the sunset. I wouldn't be mad.
You can carry me, man. If he was giving out rides, I want to know about it.
Oh shit. That's funny.
Whoops. Yeah, I
I feel
didn't.
like Jet. Oh,
Oh, say what? What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna make a joke. Like I feel like jet pins is becoming my worst habit right now. Just browsing it, looking at stuff.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Easy to do when all the goodies are right there. It's
Ugh. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
oh, I definitely didn't take care of this brush very well because it's already splitting. So,
Yeah.
so that's why I wanted to like start with a cheap brush so I could
I mean,
understand how to take care.
are you just like rinsing it with water when you're done, or
Pretty much.
yeah?
I mean, I didn't really rinse it with water the last time I used it.
Oh yeah, that might be why, man.
I just like put it in the little cup that I have that rinses out my brush. And then I was like, I go to bed.
Yeah, that'll do it, man. You can't do that with the nicer ones.
Yeah. Now you tell me. No, I'm just kidding. I just.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger.
Now you don't.
Should have stuck to them pintails, bro.
I know. But I refused.
Could be worse. It could be like those nibs that'll just, if you lose control, they'll just ruin the page for you.
Yeah. Thankfully, not that bad. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I can see. And see that one bristle just hanging on for dear life.
Always drives me nuts when I see that one bristle just hanging on.
Yeah. Yeah. There it is. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
How often do you use like the side of it to get textures and stuff with it?
I haven't really done that.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I've
feel
kind
like
of
it's
just.
one of the.
Let's say what?
Go ahead. I was about to say, like, I feel like that's one of the advantages to brushes, right? It's just like such a variety in line, width and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely used it for like bigger strokes and stuff. I mean, for me, it's mainly just trying to get that. I like the stroke, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and the ability to control the line width. Like I can get really small, like what I'm doing right now. In that foreground or background.
So you're more just trying to figure out how to like get that line control and all that right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I use like another brush for like heavy blacks and like more texture dry brush kind of stuff. And I try to just
Yeah,
keep the small detail with the tiny brush.
I find those pintail pins are best for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you can like just be so rough on them and they're still fine when you're done with them.
That's true. Yeah, there is that. I know there
Like
was
recent.
one brush that was freaking awesome. And it was super thin, but it's non like you don't refill it. It's just like you use it once and it's done. But I mean, I could probably use that as a dip pen, or I could probably just use that as a regular brush.
Uh, I know Bimoji has some like that.
I used it on the Renown book, and it was like for the Fallon and Callista story.
Okay.
With like the giant like snake thing with horns, like that one.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah. I inked that monster with that brush, and I really liked the different lines and stuff I could get out of it, and it felt really good.
I hear you. I'm trying to think.
It was probably a Bimoji pen, honestly. It was just
That
gray.
sounds like it.
It was a gray brush.
Lately, I've just been like going into my sketchbook, and I'll just take the Pentel pen and I'll just like hit the sketchbook with it, basically try and get different effects out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I'm just like vibing, just smacking the brush.
Yeah,
You know?
I get it.
Great for smoke and all that.
Oh yeah.
Clouds too.
True. But I love like the Mobius, how Mobius did clouds. Like a, it was like a print, you know, it's like an intaglio print.
Yeah. Well, he did it like with really, really thin lines though, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
man. That's
gorgeous.
such like that's next level control.
Oh yeah.
I just don't I just don't have that yet.
But you will.
I will eventually. But man,
Start now. That way, when you're 40, you'll be like, I can draw without perspective lines. Call me Jeff Darrow.
yeah, true. Huh.
Actually, he's not in his 40s. He's way older, but
Nah, he's like in his 60s or something
yeah.
now, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, doesn't Jeff Darrow like draw like on huge pieces of paper though?
Oh yeah. Giant.
Ooh boy.
And he pencils and then inks it. So
Whew.
so he does it twice.
It has to be like either just like him being neurotic or just like it being meditation for him, one or the other.
Yeah.
You don't do that unless you're like completely obsessed with it.
Oh, he is. He's probably obsessed with being the best.
More credit to him, he is one of the best.
Oh yeah. Dude literally drew with Mobius. Like, yeah, he's pretty good. It's
Oh yeah.
incredible.
I
Imagine.
wish I had that attention to detail too, man. It's
It's crazy.
intense.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And then they hung out with freaking, was it HR Geiger?
Wait,
Uh,
really? Oh
yeah,
my god.
yeah, because he was going to be involved in making the Dune movie with
Mm-hmm.
Mobius and Jodorowsky.
That's right.
Yeah, and Dan O'Bannon I think was part of that crew, which the guy that wrote Alien, I'm pretty sure he was in there too. I think, if I remember correctly. Or at least they
I'm
all, hung out with H.R. Geiger. So it's pretty
God,
crazy.
that is insane.
All those guys were in the same room. Just talking
Did you
about
ever
making
see
shit.
Mobius's designs for Tron, the old one?
No.
They're really interesting. They're very much Mobius drawings, but they got like all like, the lines that all the Tron suits have.
Yeah.
It's really something to see.
Dang. Yeah, I'll have to take a gander at that, dude.
You should. There's one character like in the movie that just straight up looks like a Mobius drawing though.
Dude, you've seen The Fifth Element, right?
I actually haven't, no.
Dude, what?
Look, I live under a
Bro.
rock when it comes to movies, so
Bro. You gotta watch it, dude. You gotta watch it.
that's Fifth Element.
It's got Bruce Willis. He's like the main guy. And
Uh-huh.
the woman that's in the Resident Evil movies, that's the badass chick that's killing all the zombies. She's like the other main character. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same director, but he made a kick-ass movie called The Fifth Element, and that's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. But Mobius definitely, I'm pretty sure he designed some stuff for that film, and the dude was
Oh, did
also,
he?
yeah, the director was a big fan of the Inkle, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, so you can see the Inkle inspiration throughout the whole movie. But it literally looks like a Mobius designed set on all accounts. Even the people in the operation room or like in a space station, clicking buttons and stuff,
Yeah.
they have these crazy ass helmets that look like they're in a freaking heavy metal magazine or the Inkle, I should say. Um, yeah, it's amazing, and I'm pretty sure the dude got sued by Mobius
Oh really?
and Jodorowsky, yeah, for it being so close to the Inkle. Because it is. It's basically like if you read the Inkle and then watch that movie, you're gonna see all the similarities, especially with the main character. Like he literally looks like what's his what's his name from the Inkle book. But it's great. I still love the Fifth Element because Mobius still worked
No.
on it. It's
I
which
was
is
about to say, like, Tron, there's a dude that straight up looks like, a Mobius character that came out of like World of Edna.
oh yeah.
Like he's got the pointy hat and he's like sitting on this giant like circular table thing,
Uh-huh.
and he's like spinning around and like talking to people with all these buttons flashing around him.
Yep.
It's so surreal.
That's basically the Fifth Element.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to check this movie out.
You got to check it out, my guy. Yeah. You gotta check it. Yeah, you gotta check it out. Yeah. Gotta check that shit out, bro. Yeah. Down, down. Down. 11 o'clock.
Keep going, bro. You got this.
Oh, wonder if I could finish the panel I'm working on right now. Let's see. A little wipey poo. Okay. Uh, uh. Boom. Like the way that guy looks. Flying towards the camera.
I dig it.
Thanks. Huh. Do do do. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Got that guy. Let's see. I can knock this out right quick. Probably won't do the checkered ground in the top right panel tonight.
Yeah, no. That'll put you to sleep.
I mean, I should go to sleep,
Yeah.
but I got a panel to finish. Specifically this one, so then I can wash my brush and maybe put conditioner in it and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, I need to make a run to Jerry's and go get some. I've run out.
What? Conditioner or?
Yeah, conditioner for the brush.
Yes. Yes, of course. It's funny that you also couldn't really get into Saga.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like basically our review tonight was Kevin and I not really getting into Saga, but Ben being really into Saga.
Oh, poor guy.
I was like, oh no.
Well, maybe he can pick next week's book to make it up to him.
Well, we're gonna do.
Maybe.
We're gonna talk about Duke, the Energon books.
Ooh.
So,
Oh man, I might actually have to show up for that one.
yeah, man, join the chat or whatever, dude. Or like the voice channel.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm getting demoted to chat.
No,
Fine.
no. Not what I meant.
Yeah, I got the singles, man. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Tom Riley is super good.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I have the book, but I haven't dove in.
He's really good at doing vehicles.
Hell yeah.
I think he's gonna be up for GI Joe next too. So same
Oh.
team.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you love to see it.
That's awesome.
Definitely a little sad that Daniel Warren Johnson's leaving Transformers like in the next year though.
Well, I mean, that's a good run though. Like a
It
year.
is a good run.
Drew and wrote the first issues, and then just basically helped start the thing. Start it off. That's pretty epic. That's an epic gamer moment for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to like the moon is following us too though. So
Oh yeah. I'm ready to see his solo books, dude.
yeah, me too. Me
I
too.
love his solo shit.
Oh, did you see that the Extremity Artist Edition got an update recently?
Oh, what's the update?
Basically they're saying like, hey, we're getting the books into like the US now. We're getting ready to ship them like around next month. So,
Okay, cool.
yeah, so they're coming in soon.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Did you buy the David Finch book?
No, that's
Okay.
one of those things I had to say like, no, I can't do that, man.
Okay. Okay. Because I
Did
got it,
you?
and I haven't received it yet. So
I don't know, man. I've heard a lot of these Kickstarters recently have been insanely slow.
yeah, it's probably the printer, or like
Yeah.
them getting shipped and taking a while.
No, I think my next Kickstarter is probably going to be that art book they talked about with Daniel.
Which one?
The Did you watch the video of his panel at Heroes?
No.
So he announced that he's doing an art book with what's it called? Flesk Publications.
Oh
It's like a
shit.
proper art book. So it's got like his commissions, a bunch of sketches and stuff. And
What?
he was saying, yeah, he was saying he was going to do a Kickstarter for it like once all the Extremity stuff went out. So,
Dude.
yeah, right?
What? We're getting all sorts of Dan this year, dude.
Oh yeah.
What the heck? What the
Well, it's probably not
nuts?
going to be till like next March, but I'll still
Still.
be there for it.
Yeah, I want that. Yes. Yes, I do want an art book. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. You know exactly
Yes,
what your people want.
I will stand in 2 hours in line again to get it signed. Thank you.
I don't know about that.
Fake fan, Manny. Fake fan.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't like standing in lines.
Well, I'll justify me doing it because it was my first time. So,
Oh, wait, when did you do that?
Heroes.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
Oh,
the first
okay.
time I met him.
Okay, got you. Got you. Got you. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's different. That's different.
Yeah. Because I was too shy to meet him before he got crazy big. So,
Damn, bro.
I know, right?
I caught him at a lull moment too, the first time I talked to him. That was when we first ran into each other at Heroes Con,
Wait,
like
was it
3
like
years
back in
ago.
2019 or something?
Yeah, because I was like, dude, Dan's here. You should say hi. And you're like, I don't know.
Oh, shit, dude. Oh, now I'm regretting it.
I
You were right.
was like, dude, he's right here. But I mean, when you
Yeah.
walked up, I think there was a line like forming.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, ugh.
So little harder
Was
to convince, but I caught him when there was literally no line. He was like hanging out with his buddy at his table. I was like, "Hey, dude."
was that like what was that at the time? Was it like Wonder Woman or Beta Ray Bill?
uh, it was the Dead Earth came out, and the hardcover for Murder Falcon, because that's when they had the signing at Acme. Was for
I
that.
want to say the hardcover came out later though.
I mean, it came no. I mean, they at least had him when I was there because I got him. That's when
Oh,
I got the sketch in my book.
oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about the Wonder Woman one. Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
I was
no.
like the
The
murder.
the, the Murder Falcon one. Yeah.
You sure that was?
Yeah, because it's yeah. Yep.
Maybe I'm just crazy.
I think so. I think you're crazy now, Noah.
Crazy.
That
I was
sucks.
crazy once.
That was crazy.
They locked me in a room, a rubber room. You, please tell me you've heard this one.
I don't think I have.
Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room, a rubber room full of rats. The rats made me crazy.
What-
If you ever want to annoy people, just repeat that over and over as every time someone says crazy.
Oh my god. What is that from?
It's just a copy pasta, man.
Uh,
Yeah. So I just annoy people with it.
they call me crazy.
Crazy. I was crazy once.
Boom. Throw. Whoosh. Cool. Yeah, because I want to add speed lines on some panels, and yeah, then it will be done. I'll finish it tomorrow.
So, do you like rule out speed lines with a brush, or do you just like go for it without one?
I mean, I'm gonna use like a micron or whatever, but yeah, I use a ruler.
Oh,
I rule it out.
fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
saw one method from Dan's Bag of Tricks, Daniel Warren Johnson's Bag of Tricks, is putting
Mm-hmm.
a like get a piece of tape and then put a thumbtack in it and then tape it on the piece of paper, and then you can have that be the base for where the ruler goes. So you don't have to
Oh,
like
yeah,
keep
yeah, yeah.
aiming it. You could just like move the ruler and then you're good. And I've been doing
Yeah,
that.
that's smart.
I've been doing that so much, bro. I was like,
That
this
is
saves so
smart.
much time. He's a genius.
I've actually been wanting to play with a smaller artboard size recently.
Do it.
Because a while ago I got this it's like manga paper, right?
Yeah.
The deleter paper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like 11 by 14, so I'm like it's already ruled out, so like and it looks like it's roughly the same dimensions as you know, standard 11 by 17 sheet.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I probably should, but I'm also nervous about like using this paper and then I'm gonna order more stuff on jet pens and then it's just gonna be a whole slippery
Hold on
slope.
to it. Yeah. Then I'm
Yeah.
debt. More.
Take out a college loan to buy more stuff on jet
Yeah.
pens. I'm kidding, but no, I really want to use it, but I'm just like I just don't know what the right project is for it.
Right. I got you. I
Might be
got you.
good to use for like the anthology actually, now that I think about it.
Could. You could do it.
Yeah.
No rush on the anthology. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's. I want the next one to be a big thing, and I don't know if it'll be done before next Heroes Con. So.
Oh, I'm still noodling on mine, so there's no worries for me.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not gonna like hit the gas on it till I hear from everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, I think like if you got a story you want to do, just work on it and you can have that ready for when, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the problem is like the story I really want to do right now is not the story I want to do in the anthology, so
Dude, come on. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that's good.
I
Got ideas, man.
mean, they could all go in there if you really want them, but you know,
Really?
my heart's like
Yeah.
with wizards and knights and stuff right now, so
I mean, you can. It's literally gonna be whatever you like. You don't have to do a sci-fi thing. I'm just gonna make it fuse together in a way.
yeah, that's fair.
You know, so like the person can open up a book and then that story that they're reading is yours, and it could be a fantasy thing. You know, something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you can still do it.
I just been playing too much Chivalry too, man. I gotta stop. Did you ever play that game?
No.
You might like it. It's really goofy.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I've heard good things.
Oh man. Damn, we got a new signature too. Woof.
What page is this? This is 7. Boom. I mean, this page isn't completely done, but
Yeah, but I never seen that signature before. That's
yeah, dude,
really cool actually.
I got this. You know, a little different, but it's in the same flavor,
Hey man.
same family. Still trying to nail it, but I think I like because then I could just do the initials MT. You know,
Yeah.
I think this is my art signature for sure because I like the signatures where you can read it. So
Yeah. I 100% agree.
because I don't want to give someone like my bank signature.
Well, there's like different flavors of like signature, I think. There's
Yeah.
like on one hand there's the John Ramirez who just like literally write out their last name in print, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like
And then
Rob
there's like
Liefeld, you know, where he basically makes it a whole drawing, you know, of Sharpies, his last name. It looks like a
I was
logo.
gonna say, yeah, Todd McFarlane who does like a whole like little sheet of paper, then his like name all crazy in
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
that'd be great. But, you know, I have to sell like, you know, millions of books in order to in order to do that.
Who says you have to sell millions of books to get a crazy signature, man?
I don't know. I'm just being weird.
Don't be weird, be bold.
Yeah.
Be weird and bold.
Be both.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop the stream. So if anyone's hanging out, appreciate you hanging out, my friends. But I'm going to finish this guy tomorrow. I'm going to put in those speed lines down here. Got the floor to add in over here. Speed lines in this one, that one, and floor. So still work that needs to be done. And then we will begin the page after that one, which is this guy right here. A bit more action. So maybe I'll stop by
Oh, I love
Jerry's
that.
and get another brush. What were you saying?
Might swing by Jerry's tomorrow, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
man.
shouldn't. Ugh.
You gotta save your money. You gotta save your money for the next book. No, just kidding.
I do. I unironically do need to save my money, though. I need to slow down.
Oh,
I'm already going to the comic shop tomorrow, man. I don't need to spend any more than that. Look, man, new issue of Helena Windhorn's out, so I need to
Dude.
get it.
I mean, come on. What's a few more dollars? Who needs bills to pay? Who needs to pay their bills, man?
Screw my bills, man. My pulls are due.